All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Saturday night edition of Get the Tables podcast. I'm your host, as always, Tony, with my co-host tonight, the bizarre one, Dave. How you doing tonight, Dave?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm great. Ready for Super Bowl tomorrow.
Yeah, Super Bowl Eve tonight. So, kind of a little bit of a slow week in wrestling, other than the Dean Ambrose, of course. That news, overtook this week, but I think it's kind of dying down now. We got a kind of a new signing last night during our show when we were talking Impact Wrestling, which was kind of strange. And we'll touch a little bit other these wrestling news and rumors. But thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. No Alex tonight. After paying him to come on the show last week, I wasn't able to afford him this week. But he will be back next weekend. So you can go and if you want to start a GoFundMe for me to get Alex on the show more often, go ahead and do that. But thank you guys for joining us. A lot of talk about. We got people leaving WWE, got some new people signing with AEW. We had Impact Wrestling last night. We want to thank everybody who joined the watch-along last night. We had over 20 viewers at one point watching the watch-along with us, so that was pretty cool. And we'll be continuing on doing that each week until we feel like, Impact is it's not a good, co-streaming event. But next week we got the Lucha Bros taking on LAX in the tag team match. So that is definitely
Street Fight, I believe.
That is definitely worth watching tomorrow night. So, next Friday, and we'll be co-streaming that. So thank you, everybody who came out there and took time with us last night on Twitch. So let's run down the card tonight of what we will be talking about tonight. Yes, Adam Bond, we will be definitely talking on that first. Let me get here we go. We got Stephanie McMahon, Becky Lynch, Jeff Jarrett, Elias, Kurt Angle, Eric Bischoff commenting on Dean Ambrose, Sanity. Rumors about the possible WrestleMania main event coming in April. We have Dolph Ziggler talking about Dean Ambrose. We have the United States title match, how it ended on Tuesday night, if it was planned to be that way. 2 more wrestlers set to leave New Japan Pro Wrestling. 205 Live results. We'll touch on NXT as well. A little bit more on Dean Ambrose. WWE still expected to change the Raw Women's title match. We'll get on that. And some SmackDown Live matches were announced as well. So as you can see in the title picture, they announced Randy Orton versus Mustafa Ali on Tuesday night. That should be a dandy of a match. Thank you, Kenobi, for the Super Hearts. Thank you, everybody. Let's see who's in here. Jeffrey Cross. We got Red Sox fan, as always, dropping the love. We got Adam Bond, Speeds, and the Benchmark. Sock Monkey Mike, thank you for Dylan. Justin's in here as well. Bizarre One, of course. So thank you guys for dropping those regular hearts and the super hearts and sharing everything on that. So Peckinrod, how you doing? Jeffrey Cross, I think I said hello to you already. So you ready to touch on the big news, which came last night? I just had it up, and then I got off the damn thing. Where was it out? Where's it at? Well, anyways, it's the Lucha Bros last night at an event in Atlanta. I can't remember what the event was called. I think Come Hell or High Water, I believe. Thank you, Jody, for the Super Hearts. Appreciate that. The Young Bucks ended up crashing the party, so to speak, and interrupting a match, I think after the match, between the Lucha Brothers. I'm not sure who they were facing. I saw the advertisement earlier today because I was listening to the Eric Bischoff podcast, and Conrad kind of promoted it, but I cannot remember who they were supposed to face. But anyways, Young Bucks pretty much came out there and offered a deal to them to join All Elite Wrestling. And I remember we were touching on it last night on Impact when we were doing the co-stream, that Bobaruski came out and said that, basically they can't really sign anywhere. They're kind of ironclad into MLW, Lucha Underground. They're still signed with Impact Wrestling, so forth and so on. So when we saw this, we were kind of like, this is just, the SCU, thank you. That's who they were facing. And we were kind of saying, this is not going to really happen. This is just, this is a handshake deal. Nothing's really going to come out of it. Well, today, actually, more news came out with the signing, and it's not an exclusive deal with All Elite. They're still able to compete at MLW, Impact Wrestling, and Lucha Underground whenever that starts up again. but they'll be able to still do what they want to do. But they are still with AEW. Kind of Adam Bomb kind of speculates that we'll see them face the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing, which is probably true. You would have to assume that was probably the big matchup that they're probably setting up, because even the Young Bucks said that they're the second best tag team in wrestling today. Your thoughts on this, Dave? This has pretty much been rumored for a while that the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix, were going to eventually go to All Elite Wrestling. And we've been warning, Impact about losing their big guns, and this is definitely one of them, two of them actually. But if you're Impact, you're probably, sigh of relief saying that, they're still going to be sticking around with Impact, even though they're going to be, so to speak, signed with All Elite Wrestling. Your thoughts?
I think it's great news for wrestling in general. I mean, not just Impact, but wrestling, knowing that All Elite isn't going out there and trying to wipe out everybody. It seems that they're trying to work with everybody. Am I sounding good?
Yeah, you sound perfect.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great sign for everyone, I think, involved. Like, I believe Conan is working their contract, so like everyone, I'm sure, like those guys in AAA he works with, like especially Pentagon and Phoenix, because those are his guys. So, I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's good to be wrestlers. It's not like Cody and them probably worked out some deal where they can all work everywhere. So it's great that they could all, because I know Conan, I believe, is booked in AAA. So I'm pretty sure he works, because I know he is negotiating Rey Mysterio's contract with the WWE. So I was assuming he's doing the same with these guys, since those are his boys. So
right,
probably him and Cody came to some kind of agreement, and that's great news. I mean, it's great that AEW, Bucks and Cody and whoever else is in charge, they're not going out there trying to just wipe out everybody and take all their talent. And they could. I mean, let's be real. They could offer millions of dollars to come just here, and that's it. But they're trying to help the wrestling world. They're not trying to hurt it and just wipe everyone out, which is good. So, I mean, this is great news. Young Bucks versus Pentagon and Phoenix. I mean, man.
Sign me up, right? God damn. That's sign me up. That could be the main event of the show.
Other match I would love to see? Nothing against Pentagon and the Lucha Brothers. Still would love to see it, even though it happened on the Jericho Cruise, I believe. I would still love to see LAX and the Young Bucks.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you were only able to see that particular tag match if you were on the cruise. I would love to have seen that match live, or even on this show. Now, Adam Baum mentioned that this could possibly maybe lead to a partnership with Impact Wrestling and All Elite. Who knows? It could lead up to that, which would be, I think, the ideal situation for Impact, because if you're Impact, you have to be a little bit in the back of your mind worried. We've touched on this already, that if you're Impact, you got to be worried about, for one, losing your big guns, and then two, maybe possibly having All Elite Wrestling put you out of business. Not necessarily on purpose, but just by taking away some, pretty huge talent from you. Now maybe Impact could say, you want Brian Cage, you want Sami Callihan, you want this and that. Maybe we can make some kind of deal. Well, maybe the Young Bucks sometimes maybe make a surprise appearance on Impact Wrestling, or maybe, I know this is kind of pushing it, maybe Cody makes a surprise appearance on Impact. Maybe they kind of help each other out in that aspect. I would think if you're Impact, you would probably want to try to really go after that deal with AEW, because right now, as much as a lot of people are sick and tired of hearing about All Elite, and then especially when speculation's running wild about a wrestler potentially leaving a certain company, you get that famous gif of Cody Rhodes and the ear gif, and it's getting out of control. Everybody thinks, someone's leaving, they're automatically going to jump to AEW, which isn't the case. You see some guys actually sign with ROH instead, but you would have to think that Impact Wrestling has to go after this partnership deal, if there's even one on the table. Yeah, I mean, exactly, and it's funny because, heck, if Impact's going to lose all their talent, am I good? Yeah, you're good. Everybody's complimenting on your sound tonight. Dave spent over $1 million on some new audio. I'm just kidding. He bought some headphones, everybody, and that's why he sounds so much better tonight. So Dave's stepping up his audio game, everybody.
Yeah, trying to make the show better for all of you. But if they are going to lose all their talent, this is what they should do. As I've been saying this either on the Twitch or on Twitter, that Get rid of it. They're going to lose them all. Fine. Go out there and find the youngest talent out there and put them on your Impact show. If you're going to go find young, unknown wrestlers and bring them into Impact, if you're going to lose everyone, then at least you have, even if you're not going to have big names on your show anymore, which is fine. You don't need big names all the time. I mean, it helps, but if you can't afford to keep them, you go out and bring in some really young talent and bring them in, like they have done with the Radicals. Rascals, sorry.
Oh,
Rascals.
hey.
Rascals. Rascals.
The
Damn
first
it.
slip up of the night.
Rascals. There you go. I mean, they have done that with a little bit, at least for me, because I never heard of the other two guys before they came teamed with Desmond. So, and I mean, they've done a little bit with the AAA people I'd never heard of. So yeah, bringing a lot of these younger talents in, which to me makes perfect sense for them to do.
Thank
is
you,
like
Zebra, for the
go younger, like go really young and bring in a bunch of young talent.
Let's run through the chat real quick. I don't want to miss anybody's comments. Haven't seen Bray Wyatt. We haven't seen Bray Wyatt either, other than him tweeting out some cryptic shit. Cody did like 3 weeks of Impact. I know, this is what I'm saying. Maybe, I don't know if, I know Cody's probably maybe a little bit more of a guy that, to me, it seems like the Young Bucks wouldn't mind going down to Impact and having like a match at a pay-per-view or something like that. Well,
because let's not forget, Generation Me wasn't really known that well before they came to TNA wrestling back then. And when they left TNA, it seemed like they blew up and became these big stars.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, there was all this talk about their issues with Rob Van Dam and all that back in the day because they were rude or whatever it was. But, I mean, they had phenomenal matches. I thought they had some great matches with Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They show a lot of those old Generation Me tag matches on Twitch when they show them on Impact. Thank you again to everybody who's joining us on Twitch as well. Thank you. Hello to Ella Chica, excuse me. The chat room is busting out tonight. Let's see. AEW has no TV deal, and for all intents and purposes, TV is dying. Impact recognized this and is on Twitch.
Oh,
now,
come on.
And AEW will need to recognize that Impact will help them out with it. Now, see, I disagree and disagree on that as well.
I disagree.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Oh, I was just going to say, I disagree. Come on. Let's be serious. Impact scene, the future is out of TV. No. I'm sorry. I love Impact Wrestling. I'm one of the biggest supporters. If they could have got a better TV deal, they would have took a better TV deal. You're telling me if one of these big cable networks came a calling?
If Impact got a say they went to WGN, for example, or what was the other one, Spike TV or something. Say they went to a bigger channel or Sci-Fi or whatever.
True TV.
True TV.
Yeah, True TV.
I wonder if they were on True TV, if they would still be doing this simulcasting on Twitch, because I feel like
I doubt
the problem is that they recognized when they did this deal that a lot of their fans were not going to be able to watch it, and they heard the bitching and the moaning about it, so they, somehow were able to catch a deal with Twitch and Pursuit to where they can stream their Twitch content, their stuff on Twitch as well. And it seems like they go above and beyond as well on Twitch, because you got the Josh Matthews and Don being in between commercials, and they really try to beef up their show on Twitch, I guess, because they want to hit that subscriber goal that they mentioned a couple of months ago. So I wouldn't say exactly TV is dying, but I feel like if this is a smart way for Impact Wrestling. But I'm going to tell you this. If I'm Impact and I see the viewage from this week, I'm a little concerned, because 2 weeks in a row, they hit about 10,000, even peaked a little bit past like 12,000 or so. This week, numbers were not very good. Only 5,000 was about 5,400 was probably the max that the views that they got.
Well, I think that has to do with, you can't put out the best thing every single week, I mean, that's just what it is. You can't have something every single week. Like, next week there's going to be a tag title match. I think it's Street Fight. And then in 2 weeks, the 15th, they're going to have this Twitch pay-per-view special or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's going to be huge.
And I don't know how the Twitch numbers work. Maybe Bob Ruski or Adam, maybe Red Sox fan, or anybody in the chat room may know. Now, when we do these co-streaming, I know it's a great idea. It gets, I love it. It's very fun to interact with everybody who pops in there on Twitch and stuff and talks with us. But does those views take away from what Impact gets? Granted, we only get 20 viewers. I see some other people do it, and they get about 100 or so bigger streamers. Now, does that take away from the viewage count that Impact could possibly get? That's what I wonder, because the more and more people do it, does it take away from that audience from Impact? I'm not saying that they lose a lot because no one's hitting like 1,000 views, but it seems like those views could help Impact if they weren't watching it, say, on our channel or someone else's.
But doesn't that also help get the Impact thing out there more too, though?
Right,
with
yeah,
more local streaming, so it gets you out on other channels.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Last night, JT England, Juanito, they said they kind of stopped watching Impact. And now that we're doing more of this co-streaming stuff, they started getting more not into it, but they're watching it more than they would if we weren't doing this. And now that it's on Twitch, it's a lot easier and access to go, hey, let's watch Impact and see what they're doing, or
if you're on your phone just playing around and you see Twitch and you see wrestling on there, which is weird for some people to see wrestling on Twitch.
Right. Yeah, people do go out on Fridays. That's let's go back to the chat real quick. The writing is on the wall, Dave. Look how many people are cutting the cord with TV. They own Pursuit and own Impact, so therefore they can distribute it anywhere. It has more to do with the time slot and day, says DX. In 5 years, TV will be a relic. I don't know, man. That's
it's not going to be a relic in 5 years. I mean, the Super Bowl is probably tomorrow's probably going to do about 60 million viewers on TV.
All right, Adam.
The streamers will probably still do good numbers streaming, but there still is live TV. There still is cable. Whether it's streaming TV through Sling, Hulu, or whatever, it's still TV. Yes, it's streaming. I get what you're saying, that streaming's a new way, yes. But that's still somewhat of a cable package, or whatever you want to call it. But yet, live TV is still being watched. People are still watching live TV. Yes, streaming is becoming really popular. But if Impact Wrestling could have got a TV deal, hell, on the USA Network, they would have took it. They're not going to get a USA Network TV deal, but just saying that they had a deal offered the USA Network on Friday nights at 10, they would have took it, and that would have been just as good. The only reason they took this is the only deal they had on the table. And,
right.
And that's likely, it. Yeah. Nothing against, and they're only in like 30, they're in less homes than Destination America was, I think. So, I mean, and they're on a relatively really bad channel. I mean, that's why we can't get no rating numbers at all for Pursuit. I mean, if this was on True TV, they would be doing simulcasting because it would take away from the viewers on there. And they could probably be doing close to 1 million viewers a week like they were on Spike TV.
That is true, Bobaruski. The thing with cable is quite expensive. That is true. That's why I'm worried when SmackDown moves to Fridays, the ratings won't be good. It depends on what kind of content they want to give us on a. It's true. I'm not sure how specific shows do their stuff on Fridays. I'm not sure if they thrive on Friday nights. Back in the day, you had Thank God It's Friday, TJIF. Those shows probably did pretty well. Now, it's different times now. A lot of people do go out more often and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do on a – I know it's on a regular TV product. It's going to still be –
I mean, that's what's going to be the difference, I think. And that's why I think it's going to do great numbers because now you don't need cable to watch SmackDown on Fridays.
Yeah. Now, with this new signing with Pentagon and Phoenix – would you be a little bit worried, say, if you're MLW or, say, Impact, especially with the high schedule demand that they're going to be having? Because that's a lot of companies to work for, especially since they also do other independent promotions as well. Do you think
you could say it the other way, too, though. You could look at it before, like, should they be worried? Because look what happened to Rich Swann. Slammiversary was supposed to be this big 5-way match, and Swann got a concussion at MLW. I'm not sure if MLW offers them anything. So, like you said, if it is going to be MLW versus Impact at this show coming up, I mean, we can see, like, what's his name, Low Key again with some Impact guys because he was a big star in Impact for a long time. So there you go. But I don't think it hurts it because you're still, like doing your own thing. I think all these companies should come together, honestly. Like ROH, MLW, Impact, they should all come together. If AEW is doing their own thing, then if I'm these other 3 companies, I come together and start working together, like, as soon as possible. Because if you don't, I mean, how cool would it be to have Tony Schiavone, and even though people hate Josh, but how cool of a little combo would that be? Tony Schiavone and Josh calling matches for an MLW Impact show.
Does MLW have insurance? Probably not, right? No, I would assume not. Who won between Lawler and Low Key? No idea. I heard that the Lawler and Shamrock match was pretty brutal. Someone's head went into a toilet as well. So if you're All Elite, you got to be ecstatic to get the Lucha Bros. A lot of us, when they first announced All Elite Wrestling and the possible people that could go to that company, Lucha Bros were pretty high on the list of guys that people wanted to see on All Elite and probably kind of figured that they would end up there. Now, who's next? You got to think of people next in line. I already know Dean Ambrose is already number one of who's going to be going there. But who else could they possibly go after that is not as big as Dean Ambrose and regarding to
everyone in Impact?
Everybody on Impact.
I mean, they're not as big as Dean Ambrose. Sorry, Johnny Impact, Brian Cage, Tessa Blanchard, but she said she's locked up unless they work out some kind of deal, but she's kind of busy with WoW and Impact. So, I mean, no offense to Britt Baker, but to me, when they announced, we signed one of the top female wrestling talents in the world, I'm like, they got Tessa Blanchard and Britt Baker. I was like,
I haven't seen much of Britt Baker. She wrestled at the All Elite Wrestling event, correct?
Yes, she was in like that three-way with Chelsea Green.
That's really the only time I've really seen much of her. I haven't really gone out of my way to watch her wrestle. Now, I know probably Adam Baum, Bob Baruski might know more about her. If rating her from like a 1 to 5 kind of thing, is she pretty solid in the ring? Is that a pretty solid pickup? I know a possibility.
I heard they signed some other ones too.
Once rumored. Well, they didn't really. I know who was Joey Janela's Penelope Cruz, right? That's another one that they picked up. Now they said they're supposed to be Ford. Excuse me. Now I know they were supposed to be picking up some more women up. Maybe they're going to do that announcement. I think they're supposed to be having another conference or something like that this week, I believe. So they're probably going to be making more announcements on people signing. I know a lot of people are speculating that maybe Omega may show up as well. Red Sox fan is saying Baker is a 3.5. Yeah, I heard about Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy?
Yeah, Jungle Boy. I forget. He's the son of some famous person. I can't remember who. Sammy, is it Guevara? From,
he was in Impact for a minute.
He was in Impact, Wrestle for Wrestle Circus as well. I remember him. And Kylie Rawl. I'm not sure who that is. These are people, I'm not going to even act like I know who that is. So it's the 7th, says Bob Ruski, is the schedule.
Let me ask you this,
which will be on a Thursday.
Okay. Let me ask you something.
Luke Perry, about this. Thank you.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. I think I heard about that. Okay. Let me ask you this. Okay.
What's up,
Steve? You see how AEW went after and they're doing the Lucha Brothers thing where they signed them to non-exclusive deals. Do you think we see more of this kind of stuff where they go around bringing in more non-exclusive? So we see.
You would have to think they're going to probably try to go after Brian Cage, probably OVE, probably Tessa Blanchard. Thank you, Speeds, for that super hard. Thank you. Very good show on Thursday night as well, my friend. You're going to have to assume that people that are stuck in these type of contracts, to me, does this hurt AEW? Because I wonder what a non-exclusive deal actually, does that mean that they can't work a lot of dates? Or I wonder what kind of, tidbits are in this contract.
Well, I think they just come in I would think they would just come in and work days that they're not working the other place. Like, okay, can you come in and work here this date for this show? Like, they got a big show coming up in May. So if we know that the Lucha Brothers are going to be at this show, more than likely. So does that mean we see, check this out, let's say, non-spoiler, there's a title match at this pay-per-view in April. And let's say the Young Bucks or Cody or whoever show up at this pay-per-view to promote Double or Nothing. That pay-per-view coming up in May. Now that's looking more likely that could happen. We can see AEW invade.
Maybe we see the Young Bucks make a cameo on Impact. Imagine if that would happen on a show, or like you said, on the pay-per-view.
That would make the most sense.
If the Young Bucks show up and get into Lucha Brothers' faces or something. Imagine the internet. They're already hyped for the All Elite is already over the top already. Imagine if that happens on an Impact pay-per-view. People will be talking about Impact Wrestling all week, probably even tune in on Friday possibly to see what maybe the fallout, maybe the Young Bucks show up again, or just to see the highlights of it happen, on Impact. So it could help. It would help Impact tremendously. If that would happen.
Definitely. It would really put Impact over a lot more because they need all the help they can get. And imagine if you had on this Double or Nothing show some other Impact stars wrestling on there, like Cage or your guy's favorite Johnny Impact wrestling on there.
Johnny Impact.
Would he change his name again?
Oh my God!
If he goes to AEW, would it be Johnny Elite?
Johnny Elite. Oh no. Oh my God! I can already see it now. No, I don't think
it can't be Johnny Wrestling. It's already taken. Johnny Wrestling's taken.
Just name him Johnny, for God's sakes. Let's go to the chat real quick. I'm sorry, I don't want to miss anybody's. Not everyone will be exclusive, said Bobarewski. Red Sox fan Janela and MJF are also on non-exclusive deals. Yeah, Janela, isn't he still hurt? And when is he even able to wrestle again? Because I know he just had knee surgery a couple of months ago. Yeah. I know he's out for quite some time.
I guess we should have thought about that too when we heard Pac is coming there, because this course that's non-exclusive.
Absolutely, yeah, and and I know a lot of people are already getting tired of All Elite and the people talking about it and already, putting them on this pedestal and already saying that they're the number 2 company in wrestling already. The one thing that they haven't announced yet, and maybe they do it this week. Red Sox fan says Pac is exclusive.
He doesn't work with Dragon Gate no more? Isn't he the Dragon Gate champion?
Bobarewski says MJF is also on a MLW contract for a while, he says. My name is Front Row Joe from Ohio. Well, hello, Front Row Joe from Ohio. Welcome to the show.
Does Sami Callihan own Ohio?
The one thing that they don't have yet is a TV deal. And that's the one thing that is probably the negative mark on All Elite. And I'm sure they already, there's been speculation and news that they've been talking to TV companies and that they already have a company in mind and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But we haven't seen anything on pen and paper yet.
Which that could wait until this fall as well, too, But you could do something like that.
But don't you... I don't know if you could wait that much longer. You would have to think that sooner or later you're going to have to get this TV deal done, especially with you becoming a legit company and then having Double or Nothing here coming up in, May, I believe? Yeah. What are you going to do after that? You would have to think that sooner or later that they're going to start asking, they're going to have to end up having some type of TV tapings other than, just one pay-per-views every couple of months.
Well, what if they do like an hour show a week? They could do something like that. I don't know if there was already any talk about them doing 2-hour shows, but you could do Double or Nothing in May, and then you could have All In 2 in August or September, and then you could announce your TV deal going the fall of that year. Or because it can take a while to get a TV deal. I mean, it's not just snap your fingers and you can get a TV deal. This would be a hard deal to work out. So, I mean, they could all be working on this, and it just might not be. They might have to go streaming. Who knows? They might be forced to do something similar to this, where they do shows on Twitch. Because look at Tommy Dreamer's show. I don't know how great it's doing on Twitch, but I don't know. So
I don't think it's doing that great. House of Hardcore, I don't think it does. I don't think it's doing that too crazy yet. As in, it's not.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, does Fight TV offer where you can do TV shows on there weekly? I mean, you can do something like that.
Red Sox fan makes a good point, and you would have to assume that Kobe, Young Bucks, and whoever else, and Khan, and all them who invested in All Elite wouldn't have made this company if there was possibly not a TV deal already in the works. You would have to assume that, right?
Yeah, because Jericho's even said he wouldn't have signed if there wasn't a TV deal on the table. So Jericho's even stated that as well, too, I believe. That he would not have signed with this company if there wasn't a TV deal somewhere. And it's probably going to be a big TV deal, I'm assuming, somewhere. It's not going to be on Paris or Pursuit or nothing like that. So
Periscope, you're not going to be on Periscope each week.
Or Pursuit, yeah.
All Elite on Periscope each week.
Yeah, they can do that. I mean, they could easily do that. I mean, and there's all these other avenues you can go on too. Like they said, there is streaming, but I think the best thing for them to do is to be on TV, on a network, on a big network. I mean, what would be the biggest network that they could get on right now? Would it be Turner?
Yeah,
absolutely. One of the Turner stations?
Absolutely.
Would it be Paramount? I mean, would it be not True TV, obviously, but I mean, what is considered the biggest and the number one cable channel? Is it the USA Network? Is that the number one? Okay, then what's number two? I think because for a long time, for us, a lot of us older fans who are in our mid-30s, we think of TNT back in the day. TNT and the USA Network were two big networks on TV. So, CBS.
You would have to think that TNT is probably one of the ones in the works. AEW's on PBS replacing Mr. Rogers. Imagine that. I feel like Red Sox fan, it should be obvious that hopefully that they would have something in line. I see a lot of people in the chat room saying that it's probably going to be announced second half of the year after the SmackDown move to Friday. Now here's the second question for you. Would it be better for All Elite to have a Tuesday night live show or a Tuesday night pre-tape show? Do you think it would do about the same, or do you think maybe viewers will be less or higher if it was live? That's my question too, because a lot of people are talking about saying that it may not do well unless it's live. We're on Twitch as well, Front Row Joe.
I mean, it depends on, is it going to be a 2-hour show each week? Are they going to try go straight like that, like Impact, like WE has been, or 3 hours now, but I mean, like Raw used to be 2 hours every Monday night, you know, and then we weren't live all the time either. Then Nitro came along and they were live every single week, and so that kind of changed Monday Night Raw having to go live every week. I mean, they could do it if they're going to do an hour tape show like ROH. They could do something like that, or if they want to make an impact, no pun intended. I mean, they could go All Elite Tuesday nights live. I mean, if you get a good enough network, test the waters, go live and see how good you do and what kind of audience you get, and then you'll know what's going on. I mean, are they just getting that niche audience, that's just that small core audience that are going to tune in, or are they going to get other fans who are going to tune in too? You know, are they going to get those Monday Night Raw fans, those SmackDown fans who watch it on Tuesday nights to tune into All Elite Wrestling, or is it just that hardcore niche audience like we are all in this chat right now? A lot of us are a niche audience who are that hardcore wrestling fans, so it's going to be interesting what they can draw.
Yeah, I would love to be live. I think that would be the best route to go for them to be live, but yeah, I don't know if costs are cheaper for it to be pre-taped. I think Bob Ruski put in the chat room that it's the same amount to be live or pre-taped.
Well, I've actually heard different versions. Like, it's more expensive to be pre-taped than live because you got to pay for production costs afterwards. You know, all the post-production stuff you're doing. So they said it actually can be cheaper to do a show live, but not. Should it be an hour or should it be a 2-hour show? I mean, that's another question right there.
Should they have enough talent to have a 2-hour show? Because right now they've only announced a handful of people. Not a handful. About over a dozen wrestlers have been pretty much announced for All Elite Wrestling. Now, they don't really have much of a women's division yet, but they haven't really went out and signed a bunch of women yet. They don't really have much of a tag division yet, but again, they haven't really gone out and gone after tag teams specifically yet. But they have a lot of, you know, huge names from an independent scene, New Japan, ROH scene, that are going over there to All Elite as well. So,
no, really quick, what they could do. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say what they could do is, like, we see how the Lucha Brothers are coming in for a non-exclusive deal. They could take a bunch of, like you see at MLW, where half of the Impact roster wrestles on MLW as well, too, where they could have people coming in from all over and different companies and wrestling on, say, a weekly show or something like that. Like, you could have Sami Callihan coming in with OVE, you know, take on SoCal Uncensored in a 6-man tag match. You know, you could do stuff like that on there, and you could have different stuff having guys from all over coming in to wrestle. So I mean, it could work. I mean, they could do stuff like that, bringing guys from all over.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I mean,
They're having a conference apparently this week. Maybe they announce some more signings.
and there's plenty of women out there.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, there's tons of women out there that could bring.
Priscilla Kelly,
wrestling.
Right? Priscilla Kelly, another one, right?
Hey, where floats your boat?
It's gonna be fun to see what happens with All Elite. I know a lot of people are tired of it already with the hype and all, but come on, man, you got to be a little bit excited to see what is in store. And if WWE already, they already take them serious. Now it's just to see how much they actually step up their game once they actually see, All Elite on TV on a weekly basis and people who they pick up from now until then. It's gonna be very fun.
I mean, look at all these women. If anyone has seen WoW yet, I mean, there's plenty of women wrestlers on there. I'm sure they're not signed to exclusive deals. They can only work there. So, I mean, there's plenty of women there that they have that they're using. I mean, Santana Garrett is a really underrated wrestler out there on the indies, and I think she's really good, too. And you said Rachel Evers is signed with Rachel Ellering. Sorry, Rachel Ellering has signed with NXT, I believe you said, or something like that.
I believe our trial. She had a trial, one of the two. I'm not really sure if it was she signed with them yet, but
and Lance Storm he is known for just pushing out crops of talent all over the place. So I mean, just go to his school and pick up your students. I mean, they're blowing up all over WE, everywhere else.
All right, let's see. Let's go to the chat room real quick. To be honest, MLW really don't have that great of a TV deal. BN Sports isn't all that. Plus, not everyone has it. I don't even know if I have MLW. Oh, actually, I think I do.
But,
I do. Take that back.
But you don't have to have BN Sports to watch it because it comes. They upload it to YouTube the next day. You can watch it on there. Just go to their YouTube channel. They got tons of episodes uploaded on there right now.
Definitely could see Emma signing there as well. Yeah, Emma is definitely, I would see.
Man,
but she's with ROH as well, so I'm not sure how her contract is over on ROH. So
I mean, you talk about someone who's just had a terrible break because she was really white hot when she got released.
Yeah, and then she had some type of illness, right?
And then she kind of fizzled out a little bit, yeah. And it's nothing I feel bad for, but she kind of fizzled out where she was white hot. People wanted to see her, and then it kind of fizzled. Now it's I don't know if she's one of the most sought after women free agents right now.
I'm pretty sure that All Elite would be interested in her. I won't say great wrestler, but she's a pretty good wrestler, and she would definitely do well on that women's division. So you would have to expect, All Elite to be interested in her from that point of view. Now, let's move on to something else. We touched on All Elite for quite a bit.
Yes.
Let's touch on some other. I thought this was kind of funny, and we know how we kind of make fun of the rumor mill, and Speeds is one of them. He always, when sources come out with these rumors, he's the first one I see retweeting stuff and laughing at him. Now, a rumor came out earlier today that AJ Styles, what's up, Truth and Loyalty, re-signed a new deal with the WWE. Yep, here we go, WWE crap, absolutely. ROH Women's Division isn't so stacked, or they really don't get pushed. I heard the ROH Women's Division isn't that great. I'm not a big avid watcher of ROH, but I've heard that their women's division is kind of a letdown. That's what I've been hearing, at least on Twitter.
Kelly Klein is about the only one I really know a lot about. I mean, I know a lot about her because I know she was just she's undefeated, and then.
Yep, it's the old rumor and innuendo, and I thought this was funny. Now here we go. It's been reported by WrestlingNewsWorld.com, SportsKita.com, and everybody's favorite Slice Wrestling.
So, why have we been reading anything from Slice Wrestling?
Yeah, Slice Wrestling. When they rumor something, I thought it was funny because someone put, Slice Wrestling, they'll put out a rumor, but then
let's be clear really quick. Let's be clear. Slice Wrestling is Texas kids' number one go-to wrestling source is Slice Wrestling.
But let me get to Slice real quick because someone put on Twitter that Slice is easy to promote when there's something wrong, but when, say, a rumor they announce goes south, they'll say, oh, well, WWE decided to go a different route to kind of, it's like, what? Just put, y'all are fucking horrible. Anyways, they announced that Well, because ROH, man, I don't really touch on their pay-per-views that much, and it comes on at 2 o'clock in the morning here in San Antonio. I don't really watch too much about it, watch it that much, but I should, because I know they have some great talent over there. But anyways, they announced that AJ Styles has signed a new deal. His current contract was set to expire in April, but Styles was able to come to terms with the WWE for a new deal that will keep him with the company for quite a while longer. Those specific terms of the contract have not been revealed. Then, a little bit while ago, when I was doing, typing up for the show and what we're going to talk about, because I thought it was kind of a slow night or a slow week, AJ Styles decided to go on Twitter and quote the tweet. Let me get it up if I can get it up real quick. And I laughed so hard when I saw this. Was basically this. The tweet said, it was from Wrestling News World that AJ Styles comes to terms on the new WWE contract. And he retweeted it and said, "What was that? Are you sure? Please let me know the more because I know nothing about this." Oh, so basically he hasn't signed.
Did they respond?
No, they didn't respond, I don't think. But, yeah, so
they
basically
probably deleted it.
AJ Styles hasn't technically signed with the WWE yet. And then you look at the comments, and all you see is Cody gifs of his ear, All Elite Wrestling pictures, people already speculating that he's going to All Elite Wrestling, all this stuff. They're showing Vince sweating, all this crap that, AJ Styles is going to leave the WWE. If you were being a betting man, Dave, and someone said, $1,000 down on if AJ Styles stays or leaves the WWE, what would you say?
That's a tough one now because now that you see all this other stuff going on and, AJ's probably thinking, what else am I going to do? I mean, I've already been the WWE champion for over a year. Or for about a year, whatever. I mean, are they going to just have me wrestle these meaningless matches now? I mean, so really, what is he going to do? Wrestle Daniel Bryan? He's going to do the Elimination Chamber. What's his match going to be at WrestleMania? What is he going to wrestle Dolph Ziggler? I mean, what is he going to do? I mean, does he really think about, before we're like, okay, AJ will re-sign, he'll do something good, make some more money, but really, go to Raw and beat Brock Lesnar or beat Seth Rollins for the title? I mean, would they do that? I don't know. I mean, it's tough right now. But a few months ago, I would have said, oh, he's definitely re-signing. But now he's lost the title. He's already world champion for a year. I mean, what else is there for AJ to do? Win the tag titles? Win the IC title? I mean, I could see it go. I could see it going if someone said he doesn't re-sign. I wouldn't be that surprised, and if he does, I wouldn't be that surprised.
Wouldn't be shocked if he lets a Red Sox fan. WWE schedule is brutal for a 40-year-old man. Breaking news says Silver Black. I have signed a AEW contract 2 hours ago. See you all in Vegas. All right, Silver Black. Can't wait to see you on All Elite. Speeds got me there. I heard Dave Meltzer reported it.
So what do you think, Tony?
Robert Ruski hold on. He responded, full respect to AJ. However, I stand behind the story, and time will certainly tell the part-timer AJ Styles. Yeah, this is my thing. We've kind of talked about AJ Styles for a while now. That it's really he's done everything in the WWE. Seemingly, he hasn't won every title, but pretty much almost every important title in the WWE. He held it for over a year. He's done almost everything that you could imagine coming into the WWE to have done. Now, with that being said, I know it's a hard schedule that the WWE have. They're on the road a lot. He's wrestling in that ring almost 3 to 4 times a night. I can understand that being an issue, but it is AJ Styles. I'm not sure how he's done merchandise-wise. I'm not sure how much pull he has in the WWE. But you have to assume him being in kind of a feud with Vince that he had, and even punching him at one point, that Vince McMahon
that's probably why.
Probably has a lot of confidence and probably has, he probably, maybe loves AJ Styles. Maybe he figures that, maybe AJ Styles is a moneymaker for him. Now.
Yeah, but you got to look at Go ahead.
The second thing is it depends on what AJ Styles wants. You know, All Elite could probably, I don't know how much money they could offer him, but they could go out there and offer him a lot of money. WWE is supposedly supposed to match that or double it if, you know, they can show proof that All Elite wants them. So it depends on what he wants in life. You know, I'm not sure how his schedule is with the WWE. I don't know if he has a lighter schedule, if he's able to take time whenever he wants off. You know, WWE treats some superstars better than others, and we all know that. So it's all going to depend on what AJ Styles wants in his head. We don't know. We can't tell what, you know, we can't tell AJ what to do. Kind of the same situation with Dean Ambrose. People are, oh, you're salty, Dean Ambrose is leaving. Who are we to say Dean Ambrose should stay, you know? If he wants to leave, he's not happy.
In different situations, though.
You know, it's true, but who are we to say that AJ Styles should stay in the WWE or he should go to AEW? It's his decision.
We're not saying.
No, I'm just saying in general. You know, it's to me. I don't know what the better situation is. I don't know how great he's treated in the WWE. I don't know. Like I said, his schedule is. If he feels like All Elite is a better situation and if he's going to get what he wants for the same amount of money, then go to All Elite. You know, there's several matches that people want him to see him wrestle. Or if you feel like, you know, the WWE treats you pretty damn well and you're going to get offered a lot more money, then stay with the WWE. Now, if I'm AJ Styles, I don't know. That's a tough decision. All Elite, there's fresh matches. There's possibility of, you know, seeing him go against Cody or Omega or whoever else. But there's also a risk jumping to All Elite because who are we to say they last 5 years from now, you know? It's going to be very interesting to see if the bigger name stars, because Dean Ambrose isn't as. Would you say Dean Ambrose is a bigger star than AJ, or about the same level? Because to me, I think AJ is a bigger star than Dean.
Yeah, nothing against the Dean fans, but yeah, AJ is a bigger star, and he would be for AEW because, let's be real, AJ would. And then this is what's different, I think, now. Like before AEW, before the announcement came, there was speculation, but before the big announcement came. Everyone's like, AJ's going to stay. I mean, because what else is there for him to do outside of WWE? Go back to Japan? Well, AEW's here. He wouldn't have to go back to Japan. He could stay right here in the U.S., go to USA, and go wrestle for AEW and still be home. But also, did you see the Carl Anderson post, I think, this week or last week? That when he's talking about being WWE, he said he's able to be home once a week or a few times a week and be there with his kids and stuff like that. That's what he loves about it. Instead of he couldn't get in Japan. So, I mean, AEW can offer them the same thing.
Right.
So, I mean, It's interesting to see what these guys are going to do, because I believe Anderson and Gallows, their contracts are up as well, too. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if AJ goes, would they follow? And, I mean, can you imagine Kenny Omega's in AEW. He's there with his Bucks buddies. He's there with them hanging out. And then you get AJ and Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows show up and attack them because they betrayed them. They kicked them out back to Japan. Kind of, you could see that what everyone was speculating on seeing in the WWE, where you have, AJ in the club versus Kenny Omega in the Bucks in the WWE. Instead, you could get that in AEW.
Well, that's true, but you know the reason what I'm saying is if AJ Styles actually makes the jump from WWE to All Elite, then if I'm WWE, I'm a little bit panicking a little bit because that's a huge star that just left your company to join another one. So
yeah, and that's the other side of it too, because AJ could stay here with Vince and make money, or he could go wrestle a few more years with his friends and go hang out with his friends again.
It's going to be interesting. Anderson and Gallows definitely leaving, says Red Sox fan. We're kind of back and forth on WWE to AEW tonight, Dave from New Jersey. How old is AJ? He's in his 40s, definitely. If only he wasn't on a 5-year deal, KO would have went over probably. I would have, yeah. I could.
KO just resigned though.
No, he said if he wasn't,
okay.
If he didn't just sign a 5-year deal, he thinks Kevin Owens. I agree with you on that. I think if you would have to think the guys that are. But see, it's a risk too. If you leave if you're unhappy with the WWE and you want out, you're going to have that ironclad deal where you can't wrestle until WWE is going to basically screw you if you want out of your contract. So it's not. There's no. You shouldn't ask for your release unless you just are just fucking fed up like Neville was, you know.
Or Zack Ryder should be.
You know, just those guys are not going to be able to wrestle until their contract is over, and they'll be on the shelf for who knows how long. With the WWE, you're going to have to ride it out like these other guys are. Mike Bennett may have asked for his release, right? But then they probably thought about it and said, well, fuck, I'm not going to be able to really do anything until my contract is officially over.
What's really funny about that is all of a sudden we hear this he asked for his release. Maria's in the Women's Rumble, and then all of a sudden, like, last week or this past week, he's wrestling on 205 again. So that's funny. Well, but he's still on TV. He's still wrestling. Doesn't just because at least you're on the show. It doesn't really matter if you win or lose.
That is very true.
But most guys who go into wrestling, like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, I'm sure the same way as this. They said, "Man, one day we want to make it to the WWE," you know, and they finally make it there. You know, I mean, do they like the positions they're probably in all the time? No, but they're there at the place that they probably always wanted to go work at. Because starting out, when a lot of these guys started out, they probably always had dreams of making it in the WWE, making it to WrestleMania. And they've made it to these spots. So, I mean, maybe that, too, is kind of hard, like, oh, this is where I've always wanted to be. And, I mean, sometimes it's hard just to leave. I'm not saying AJ Styles is the same way, so maybe now that he's finally there, he doesn't want to leave.
That's true.
And no offense to his friends. I mean, yeah.
No matter what people say about AEW, right? It's going to be very hard to them to eventually. They may be, you know, the best wrestling company as in wrestling, but it's going to be a long time till they actually top the WWE, because when you're in the WWE, it's the granddaddy of them all. They're known by everyone. You're on the TV talk shows. You're on, you know, Super Bowl commercials. You're on this and that.
Well, that hasn't been a while.
I mean, well, this, you know, it's just you're invited to do stuff with football and NBA and the Make-A-Wish and all this stuff. You're just on top of the world, you know, in the industry. Maybe AJ Styles likes that. You know, it depends on, like we said, his mindset. He's 40 years old. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. It's going to be.
And it's still a risk. AEW, no matter what people say and where they put AEW on their top list right now, it's still a risk to go work there. They have no TV deal right now.
It's not hating on All Elite Wrestling. It's just a fact. And excuse me, I'm sorry. Colin would have to enter the stocks business too. Don't forget WWE makes movies too. Yes, that's true. And I'm not trying to.
AJ Styles, Marine 7.
We're all in, no pun intended on that, with All Elite. We hope they do well. I'm excited to see what they have in store. But it is a real risk to jump from the WWE to possibly All Elite, because it's not a for sure product that we know that's going to last for 5 to 10 to 20 years. We don't know that for sure.
But that's also... Go ahead.
No, finish. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to say, but that's also, you look at other ways too. Like, man, Chris Jericho went there, so maybe I should see what's going on. You know, that could be a big key point for a lot of people. Hey, Chris Jericho's there, maybe I should go there. You know, I mean, that's why they brought Chris Jericho in. Like, if we can get Chris Jericho, something's going on there. So, like, we're kind of saying, well, it's a big risk too. But, yeah, look at Chris Jericho. I mean, guys like AJ Styles, who they need and want to bring in. I mean, maybe they don't want to bring in. I'm sure they do because they're friends with him. But maybe they want to go after, like, Chris Jericho drunk tweeted or whatever it was about. We only want, like, 4 WE guys or whatever. Maybe they do want to go after the younger generation in AEW and bring in more younger guys who are out there killing it on the indies right now. Because they're going to be fighting with the WWE to get all these top indie talents, because that's what they're going after. WWE's going after all the big stars on the indies to put them on NXT or even on Raw maybe somewhat. And just to take them all away and try to basically kill the independent scene. People say they're not killing it, but they're trying to create their own independent scene with 2 NXTs right now, with UK and the regular NXT, and then you have 205 Live stuff they're doing, and it's just like they're trying to create their own indie scene, and they're almost trying to kill it, and they are. Look at all the stuff. Look at their biggest stars in NXT right now. I mean, they're all ex-ROH or New Japan guys in there right now. I mean, there's no more homegrown talent.
I can see it both ways. They're basically quote unquote killing the indie industry. I can understand, but if you're WWE and if you can all, you have to admit it some way somehow that if you were an owner, if you're Vince McMahon, and you're seeing people, trying to compete with you, you're going to try to up your game. It's just like in football. It's just like in basketball. It's just like in baseball. If someone's trying to overcome you and pass you by, you're going to try to go out and sign talent that will back them up.
You know what the WWE, you know what they are.
The WWE for doing that. It's not a fair thing to the independent scene, no. But I can definitely understand why the WWE are going after these high market people in overseas or in America, because they want to be the top dog. And as much as a lot of people hate it because they're going to get watered down or not going to be the same character or whatever have you, I can't blame the WWE for doing that. It's just like what NBA is doing, the football, NFL.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
They're just trying to overpower their company, and you cannot blame that. It's just
there's the Golden State Warriors.
For that.
The WWE is the Golden State Warriors. They're trying to get all the best players on one team.
Absolutely. If you want to use that as a metaphor, you're more than welcome to, because it's the truth. They're going after all the guys that are superstars on the independent scene. Walter. They went after Johnny. Ciampa. Not Velveteen Dream. Aleister Black.
Yep.
They went after these guys that are well-known independent products, and they're putting them on their shows. You can't blame them for that.
You can still hate them for that.
This is our Saturday show. We call it the Shoot the Shit Show. We talk about everything. We go from company to company. We're just talking about whatever the fuck we want. Welcome to the show. These shows go pretty long too, so buckle up. You're going to be here a while. It's just going to be interesting to see what they do. What all of these going to do, because you got to assume that they're going to try to go after the big dogs as well, like an AJ Styles or a Dean Ambrose. Or some of these other independent stars as well. It's going to be fun. Jericho made a great point about Shinsuke main eventing Japan and having to go to NXT. How many guys are willing to do that with a possible AEW deal on the table?
Yeah, I mean, think about that though. He main event. I can't remember as he did main event, like you said. Yeah, going from Wrestle Kingdom to NXT. I mean, yes, his first match was at WrestleMania Takeover with Sami Zayn, but still, you're going from being a big star in Japan to basically going to WWE developmental at that time. Because now they're not even developing any stars anymore. I mean, they're just going out there and say, "We'll take you."
Yeah, they're taking. It's more. They're going after these well-established wrestlers already, and
they're trying to make NXT a brand. Yeah, and that's what they're doing.
I agree with you. And yes, Bob Ruski put in the chat room that he's heard that the New Japan live events have been bad. And I heard then a lot of the Japanese wrestlers that were going to pretty much be scheduled on the show they backed out or some type of issue. That's what I read on Twitter. I think AEW might be limited without a solid TV deal. Well, Hayden, that's true. But another thing is a lot of people are already saying that they have a TV deal in the works. But it's all rumor and speculation. We don't know what the hell's going on until we actually hear an announcement from Cody Rhodes himself. Oh, due to the government shutdown. Okay, that's why. All right. Oh, because they couldn't get their passports, right? And the porn bots are out tonight, my friend. Welcome those porn bots. Let's move on to some Dean Ambrose real quick, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. Some more news that came out with Dean Ambrose. He reportedly had a series of meetings with the WWE management over the last couple of days, and by the end of them, he made it clear that he was not intending on signing a new deal and was looking to leave. PW Insider also noted that Ambrose is a do-what-he-wants kind of person, doesn't live in an expensive lifestyle, so there was no financial reason for him wanting to leave. He is just unhappy right now and then wants to try something else. Now, we've been talking in the group chat a little bit about Dean Ambrose and, where he can go, what he might do. We talked about his career earnings right now. If you go in there and look it up, it's about, I think, $7 million. So he's done pretty well for himself in the WWE, if it's true. If that if that is an accurate claim. It's going to be interesting because maybe Dean Ambrose could possibly say, you know what, fuck it. I want to just take a year off, just get my mindset, get my body right. But then again, I'm thinking he just took, what, how many months off from wrestling due to an
like
injury?
A year almost.
So maybe he wants to do something else in life. Maybe he wants to actually enjoy life for a little bit and then get back into wrestling. He's still pretty young. But you would have to think that wrestling is in his DNA. Do you think he retires? Do you think he goes to AEW?
No.
Do you think he just kind of takes a year off? If you're try to put, what will you do if you're Dean Ambrose right now?
No, because we know that if your contract expires, there's no 90-day clause where you have to wait where you can wrestle anymore, correct?
No, he can go wherever he wants.
I mean, me personally, this is just me as a fan. I would love to see Switchblade Conspiracy again. Sami Callihan, Dean Ambrose back together again. When we were watching our Twitch show stream last night and Sami Callihan was talking about what he was doing, who was in the car with him, I thought he was going to say John Moxley's in the back seat or something because he kept name-dropping names in the back of his car with him who's riding with him. So I thought we were going to hear like either a Dean Ambrose name drop or someone like that. But, man, I would love to see those two together again. I mean, because everyone talks like, oh, they're all Ohio. Dean fits perfectly for being an OVE. Look, me as a fan, I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, and Pat can't afford Dean Ambrose or nothing like that, but, man, imagine that. Imagine a Dean Ambrose showing up in Impact and joining OVE. Or even in AEW, if AEW ended up like, you know, or OVE ended up in AEW. Something like that, and you seen them reunite there. I mean,
yeah, and the thing about Dean Ambrose as well is Dolph Ziggler was on Busted Open, I believe, this week, and they asked him about Dean Ambrose's eventual departure from the WWE. So I know that Bob Aruski put in the chat that he thinks it's still a work, possibly, but he said he praises Dean Ambrose and said he's a nice guy and loves the business. But it's hard to read him sometimes. A ridiculously nice guy. He loves the business. He loves wrestling. Definitely does his own thing. He's kind of in his own world a lot. I'm friends with his wife. But Dean and I mean, if we're put into a match together, we would talk or something. But otherwise, really friendly guy. Loves wrestling. Loves having a good time. But definitely does his own thing. And maybe he's looking to go do his own thing some more. So it seems like he's kind of
so
like
maybe that wouldn't shock so many people then. I mean, maybe that wouldn't shock if, say, he did show up at Impact with, like, Sami Callihan, because that's just, I mean, if you see some of the YouTube videos they put together, you know they're friends. So, I mean, it would be interesting. I'm not saying it'll happen. It probably won't. It's probably me wishful thinking here, but I think it'd be awesome. Because Dean does his own thing. You show up at a place no one would expect him to go. Like, everyone expects him to go to AEW.
Right.
And then he flips on everybody.
Speeds makes kind of an interesting comment in the chat room and says he may be in the minority here. Yeah, Ziggler working people, says Bob Aruski. Said he might be in the minority, and Iowa Neck actually agrees with him that Ambrose never really done anything for him. And before the show started, I kind of went over, like, kind of what we were going to talk about, and I said, I know I put you on the spot here, but I was going to ask you, some of Dean Ambrose's top matches in the WWE, and you kind of chuckled because, to me, I don't think you really have any. So I went on.
AJ maybe.
I went on WrestlingInc.com, and they had their own top 5 matches for Dean Ambrose. All right, and are you ready to hear them? And we'll go over them. Maybe they kind of ring a bell for you. Number 1 was the Money in the Bank one, which won Dean Ambrose, Alberto, Jericho, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn were in the Money in the Bank.
How is that a Dean Ambrose top 5 match?
Like, it's a top 1.
It's Money in the Bank, though. So is that, who else is in it? Is that a Del Rio top 5 then, too? I mean, it's Money in the Bank. It shouldn't count as a top 5 match.
Speaking of AJ Styles, number 2, Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at Backlash.
I thought they did a TLC match.
That was an honorable mention they have here, which was Styles.
To me, that was a great match. When Styles doing that 450 through the table on Ambrose, that match is awesome.
Number 3, Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens, last man standing match for the Intercontinental Championship at the World Rumble.
I don't even remember it. I don't even remember
I don't
the
even
match.
remember this match. They put honorable mention Triple H at Roadblock. He wrestled Triple H?
Really?
The match slightly edges out his stellar main event WWE title. He lost the title to Triple H? What? In 2016? I don't even remember that. Wow. Damn. Okay.
I think this is saying a lot.
And I'm thinking, that was the first time they were going to wrestle at WrestleMania.
Oh, Jericho.
That was a possibility.
What about the Jericho and Ambrose steel cage match?
They don't have that
on. Is that even on them?
Nope.
You remember that when they did all the Mitch stuff and Tax came out of the cage and it was like, wow, that was surprising.
Number 4, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler on Raw.
Really?
Tag Team Championship match.
Like a couple months ago?
Yeah, remember that was when Triple H was the champ. That's right, and that's when he faced Roman Reigns for the title. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, because I was at that Mania. Man, that's crazy. Honorable mention was Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus The Bar at No Mercy. And then they have number 5, The Shield versus the Wyatt family on a Raw. Honorable mention Shield versus Team Hell No and Ryback.
I mean, how would you not put that on there before the other one? I'm sorry, but this is a terrible one.
Yeah.
I just thought about one like it did. Like Jericho and Ambrose had a great little rivalry when they got to go in that cage, and it was fun. It was a fun match.
With
I
Mitch,
remember that.
Right? That's when Mitch was.
Mitch the Plant. Yeah.
Mitch the Plant. Now, my question to you, and we
Jericho
kind of touched on
him.
it Tuesday night. Does Dean Ambrose's character seem like it should be more edgier, and they water Dean Ambrose down very, very much?
Oh, definitely.
Because to me, if I ask people in the chat room, unless you're a huge Dean Ambrose fan, there's not that match that really stick out for Dean Ambrose. And I remember Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and it was a no disqualification match, I believe. I was super excited for this match, seeing that this could be actually, maybe Brock takes a loss here. Maybe Dean Ambrose pulls off the upset. This is before Brock was booked like he was. And I'm thinking we're going to get a knockout, drag-out match because I know how crazy Ambrose is. And it was basically, a squash match, basically. Brock Lesnar just took Dean Ambrose to town and beat him. It seemed like that match really kind of showed you what the WWE thought of Dean Ambrose. Because if they thought of Dean Ambrose any differently, we would have had a competitive match.
Well, let's not forget that the Austin podcast he went on after that, and he basically exposed it a little bit, where he said, Brock wouldn't let me do anything. He basically called Brock out on the podcast.
Yeah, he said, didn't Brock not want to do any crazy shit? There he goes,
and he called him out live on the WWE Network's podcast with Austin, so it was like, I don't think he was being honest, and I don't think they wanted him to be that honest, so... But yeah, he basically called Brock out, that Brock wouldn't do any work with me, let me do anything. He just wanted to do his own thing.
Now, I remember them also mentioning, a lot of people on the fans mentioned the Stone Cold podcast that definitely exposed Dean Ambrose. You could tell that Dean Ambrose is he's an odd guy. He's not probably a guy that you'd probably go out and have a beer with after the show. He's probably a guy that just goes probably straight to the hotel, I would assume. He just kind of sticks to himself a lot because that podcast really... It didn't do him any good to be on that podcast. Because I remember when I know it was a very watered down Stone Cold podcast. He had Stephanie, he had Triple H, I think he had Brock on it. It wasn't his usual Stone Cold, but it really, he would spotlight the other character who was ever on the show or whatever have you. With Dean, it looked like Stone Cold wanted to go over there and kick his ass.
Yeah, because he was calling him out saying, where's your aggressiveness? I haven't seen this in a while, but I do remember you started to bring it back a little bit. He's like, why aren't you being like this aggressive guy or, like more violent or whatever? But yeah, I mean, I remember that. Now you said that, and I was like, wow, he was really like calling him out and stuff. Why isn't he he doesn't seem like he's being motivated, I guess, as much as he should be as the champion. So yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, how this whole thing went down, and it was just like, wow. I was never a huge Dean Ambrose fan because out of the Shield guys, I knew who Seth Rollins was from ROH when he was Tyler Black. I knew who that guy was. I never really knew a lot about the CZW stuff with Dean Ambrose and Sami Callihan till later on. So, and I didn't know Roman Reigns at all, so I didn't know anything about that guy.
PW Universe makes a good point. He says, I feel he really can't deal with fame and doesn't like people much. That's a possibility. He might not like being around people. Sometimes that's how I feel. I'm not a big people person, which I'm surprised I do a show like this. I'm not a big people person, so I can kind of feel how Dean Ambrose is. If he's, but you got to kind of see Dean Ambrose had to see that coming, being, part of the Shield and then winning titles and stuff, that he's going to be pretty huge. Huge star and known around the world.
I don't think it's the fame thing. I don't think it's the fame. I think it's just who he is. He's one of those really calm and kind of people who just don't.
I feel if he doesn't booked
fall in line.
If he was booked more like John Moxley, I think he'd be fine.
Not gonna work in WWE.
He's booked like a generic. He's a generic John Moxley, where he doesn't do edgy stuff. Moxley will come out sometimes in hardcore matches, but for the most part, Dean Ambrose is stuck to being a corny, edgy dude who doesn't give a shit really about anybody, and he's doing this corny, cringy ass shit that he's just tired of. Getting shots in the ass, having a pet named Mitch as a plant. This stuff like that probably is not what Dean Ambrose probably thought he was going to be getting when he signed with the WWE.
Now, if you go back and look at some of those YouTube videos he did with Sami Callihan, that's really who he is. That's who the guy is. That's his type of.
What's up?
That's what he is, and that's who the guy is. I mean, he's just like Sami Callihan. They're basically the same in a way. What Sami Callihan's been doing the last couple of years on the Indies is exactly what he would be doing. John, Dean, whatever you want to call him. I mean, exactly what he would be doing right now on the Indies. Like how Sami Callihan has blown up this past year on the Indies, I think that would be what Dean Ambrose is exactly what he's doing right now. He would be a member of OVE, if not lead OVE. That's what he would be doing.
A lot more than he's getting on WWE, that's for sure. So that's Dean Ambrose for you. What's up, Bliss? Dean was basically the third wheel in the Shield. Yeah, he was the ugly stepchild. Or the ugly stepbrother in the Shield. He was definitely last in line for anything.
Because let's be real, what they did when they took the Shield. Said, okay, let's take these two internet darling wrestlers and team them with one of our guys, so they'll have to get over and like him because they put one of our guys. Nothing against Roman Reigns. It's not a personal attack. It's just professional, like on wrestling. How I think Vince might have seen it. Like, okay, let's take one of our guys and team him with two internet darlings, like two big, like John Moxley and Tyler Black were two big stars on the Indies for the internet wrestling fans back then. Which were the internet wrestling fans blowing up now in the world, but yeah. But that's why I think they did it, just to throw one of their guys to help get him over more because you're teamed with two internet darling fans.
I hope that's not true, PW Universe saying that. Apparently WWE doesn't see Drew as a big star anymore because of his feud with Dolph flopping. It's a fucking feud with Dolph Ziggler. What did they expect? Jeez.
Didn't Dolph leave too? Is it his contract up too now?
What I've read online that he resigned a deal with,
what a surprise.
With WWE, but he's going to be taking a big old hiatus. All right,
you know what's funny? It's fun. This is funny if he didn't resign. I'm just saying because no one talks about Dolph's contract. They talk about Dean's, but not Dolph.
Look at the pathetic first run he was given with the U.S. title. Yeah, truth and loyalty, very, very true. Now, speaking of WWE Raw this Monday night, they have announced a couple of matches for WWE and also some other interesting stuff. Kurt Angle is supposed to address his future in the WWE on Raw. But the two things that caught my eye was a match that was announced, and then another thing that was announced as well. Just imagine how odd it would be in the Shield with Ono instead of Roman, right? Losing some talent wouldn't be a bad thing for WWE. Shrinks the pool of potential guys to push. Absolutely, Speeds. Abso-freaking-lutely. Now, nothing screams new era, everybody, when we get a Jeff Jarrett match on Raw on Monday night.
In 2019.
I said Jeff Jarrett. In 2019, we'll be having a wrestling match on Raw against Elias. And not only will Jeff Jarrett be wrestling on Raw, the Road Dogg will be in his corner when he goes to face Elias.
Oh, come on, we know what's going to happen, don't you? The roadie's going to turn heel.
The roadie is going to be on...
He's going to turn, and he's going to be the one writing all Elias' songs.
Raven's Girl on Twitter, who's another avid listener to Speeds and the Benchmark, made a funny prediction, and I thought this was going to be crazy. That she said that we're going to find out that it's been the roadie singing for Elias all along, kind of like the whole Jeff Jarrett thing.
Yeah, but I don't think it can because we've actually heard. Yeah, I know. I guess it's a joke. Yeah, but it would be more funnier.
Said that.
It would make more sense if it was like Road Dogg was actually writing all his songs, which he probably really is. But still, he writes all the material.
But Jeff Jarrett versus Elias, everybody. How excited are you for this match?
I don't care about this at all. I mean, it's Raw, though, so Raw doesn't interest me at all lately. I don't know if I want to watch a Denver Nuggets versus the Pistons on Monday or Raw, so I don't know.
I cannot believe, what, and I get this, and I got a comment on Twitter. I hate how people keep using the New Era complaint when it comes to stuff like this, when we don't know what's going to happen. It may not even end up being a match, stuff like that. But it seems like with Elias, they always stick him with the old-timers. And what happens with the old-timers? The old-timers always get over on Elias. What good does that do for Elias? It seems like it does nothing for him. Nothing. He's always stuck with these old-timers, these Hall of Famers, and they always go over on Elias. Every time.
You know what one thing stood out to me today? It was, here's what stood out to me today. The New Era. I was watching some old Raw and SmackDown today. It was like from 2001. My fiance said, "Oh, this is a lot better than the stuff that's on today." Like, you're right. It is. I mean, it's just like, wow.
Okay, all right. To be fair, I mean, the Attitude Era has some bad shit. Everything wasn't
not
all
this bad.
Great. But when you say New Era, and we're getting some new stuff on Raw, I cannot say no. They're not giving us a totally different. They're not adding new stuff. They are, and we're getting a little bit better stuff here and there. But what the fuck does this do for anyone involved in this match? Other than Jeff Jarrett recently signed a new role with the WWE. It does nothing for me. Why would I stick around to watch a Jeff Jarrett versus Elias match? What does that do for me? What purpose does that do for fucking Elias?
That's all they're doing. All they're doing is nostalgia. They're trying to create something like, oh, there's some fans who probably want to still see Jeff Jarrett in 2019 in a wrestling ring.
Absolutely, Speeds. 99 to 2000.
And I'm not one of them.
Look, and again, a lot of people thought the money performance with Jeff and the whole Elias segment was entertaining.
Yeah, I thought it was funny with
But
Brody
if you would have found out it was going to lead to a match and possible a feud, I don't think a lot of people would say, yeah, I want to see that. Do we want to see Elias? Might as well just give us an Elias and Jeff Jarrett guitar on a pole match. For God's sakes.
Tony, damn it. No, they're probably going to do it now since you said it.
And Jeff Jarrett most likely is going to get the win.
Oh, great. They're going to book it now. Watch. Elimination Chamber. Elias versus Jeff Jarrett. Guitar on the pole.
Makes a funny point. Says, I'm telling you, this was supposed to be The Rock and Elias. Jarrett was plan B. Yeah, I agree with you. Elias versus Mid would have been a great feud. Have they even worked together? I don't think they have worked before together. But, we got a ladder match with the fucking guitar on top. Sooner or later, we're going to get a guitar involved in one of these stipulations with these two. Could this possibly maybe lead to maybe Jarrett being a manager for Elias? I don't know. What else? I said it, and it seems like it's happening already. 2019 was going to be the year that was going to be the down year of Elias. And, my God, if he loses to Jeff Jarrett, I don't know how much lower you can get. Any thoughts on this, Dave?
And there's always Dolph Ziggler. So... I mean, geez. I mean, I'm never even a Jeff Jarrett fan, and I don't really care. So, I want to like Elias. I think it's funny when he goes out to the crowd. But what are they doing? So, Elias is that heel attacking the legends, so that's what they're doing now with this. So it's like, oh man.
But he's been attacking the legends since he's got to the WWE.
I mean, I thought last week, not like this, though, like literally attacking legends, you know, like literally. But
Right.
I mean, I thought maybe last week was just about like, okay, it's right after the Rumble. Maybe some people didn't watch it. They didn't see Jeff Jarrett in the Rumble, so we'll bring him out for the night after Royal Rumble. But to have it continue on, and we keep hearing this angle, Jeff Jarrett has signed an exclusive deal or whatever to possibly. I thought it just meant to work behind the scenes, but we even talked about being a producer maybe, but no, it's on TV. He's going to be on TV now. So what, Road Dogg pulled some strings since he took him to TNA, and now he's bringing him back into here, so it's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to see Road Dogg's probably right in SmackDown because he gave his buddy K Quick the U.S. title.
Yeah. So, also on Raw, we'll get Kurt Angle will address his future on Raw. I don't know what that means. I thought he was already pretty much retired, but
yeah. Aren't you forgetting something?
no, I'm not. I'm going to mention one more thing. We got Finn Balor going up against Bobby Lashley in a one-on-one match.
The Almighty
with Leo. Oh yeah, excuse me, the Almighty Bobby Lashley with Leo Rush. But the big announcement was Stephanie McMahon inviting everyone's favorite, the man, Becky Lynch, to Raw. And I'm already getting the comparisons, Dave. Vince McMahon, Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're trying to bring this feud to, or bring the similarities to Stephanie and Becky Lynch. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
The shirts already sell themselves.
Becky Lynch 316. Lynch 316.
Becky Lynch 316.
I just kicked your ass.
No, Lash.
Oh,
McMahon Lynch.
God.
The rivalry renewed.
No, it's not a title match, Speeds. It's just a singles match. It'll probably lead to him winning, and then he'll get his title shot at
I mean, yeah, it's the writing's on the wall. I mean, is anyone not seeing this coming from a mile away? Where it's going to be, where she's going to what's she going to give Stephanie a stunner? She's been using it on the indie.
She's going to give her. If she gives her a stunner, Dave. If she gives her a stunner, I will literally laugh my ass off if she gives her a stunner.
Well, she was doing it to Charlotte. Wasn't she doing it to Charlotte on live events?
Oh, my God. Imagine if she gives her a stunner. Oh, my God. I want to see it now. I want to see her give her a stunner. That'd be great. But could they do where Stephanie McMahon starts to try to stack the odds against Becky and then adds Charlotte Monday night?
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know if that's going to be one, but hey, what was it, Meltzer's thing where he said that if anyone deserves to main event WrestleMania, it's Charlotte because after everything she's done, that's what everyone's saying.
Yeah, well, a lot of people too, and we talked about it on Tuesday a little bit, where we even admitted ourselves that Becky Lynch isn't the greatest wrestler, and they may not feel that this match is main event material. But if you add Charlotte to the mix, it's main event material. Do you agree with that?
I disagree, but I disagree. Yeah, I disagree completely. I mean, I would much rather them say, okay, Becky Lynch wants a one-on-one match with Ronda Rousey. Hell, I'll even throw this one in there. Make Stephanie the special referee. I don't care. Give her the referee, and I will take that over Charlotte getting added.
Damn, okay, all right, because everyone's favorite Dave
then it adds something more to it.
Is already saying that the match between Rousey and Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania 35 is set to become a triple threat match. And also Meltzer revealed that WWE had been working on the idea of a triple threat match for a while, but of course officials could change their minds between now and Mania. He always has to throw in that just in case he's wrong. But as of right now, a storyline is in place to include Charlotte in the mix. So this could be their way of maybe having Charlotte get involved. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. And it's going to be very interesting. Becky and Ronda, from a wrestling perspective, will be boring as fuck. I kind of have to agree with you on that because Becky is not a very exciting wrestler. You know? I don't...
Okay, but do you think it'll be boring to the live crowd? I don't. I think the live crowd's going to be going nuts for Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey.
God,
you might say sitting at home, You would hate it, but I think the live crowd would be all over for Becky Lynch. They'd be so crazy. You might say the people at home might say, "Oh, this is stupid. This is boring. Becky Lynch is boring," but the live crowd would be going nuts.
Bliss puts in the chat, Charlotte's just gonna do 2 extra flips and miss completely. Yeah. But what's up, man? How you doing? It's gonna be interesting to see what they do and how they get Charlotte added into this match because, for one, nobody wants to see it. And here's the thing: and Speeds can vouch on this. The WrestleMania crowd isn't the same wrestling crowd. There's a lot of idiots. There's a lot of what you call smarks or whatever. They're going to try to hijack that show. And if they're not happy that their lover girl, Becky Lynch, is not in a singles match with Ronda, they may shit on Charlotte that whole match.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be some chants going on that
let's not forget.
is not going to be happy with.
Let's not forget Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. I mean, how bad the crowd... You were there, weren't you?
I was there, yes.
And how the crowd just went apeshit for like the hour and a half until it got to, I think it was Shawn Michaels and, or no, it was Triple H and Undertaker in the Hell in the Cell, I think, that year. And it took them that long just to get the crowd back.
Just get ready to count the botches in that match. Now,
I mean,
it's gonna be interesting, especially if it's in the main event. It's gonna be very interesting to see how the fans actually react, because if they're not happy with Becky Lynch, because there's a lot of people already on Twitter that don't want Charlotte involved in this match. But I can see why WWE wants her in this match. I can see the negatives and the positives.
Yeah, but it's just like SummerSlam all over again. You know, everyone wanted Becky Lynch to get her one-on-one match with Carmella, one-on-one, straight up, and then they had to add Charlotte to the match. And then Charlotte won the match, and then Becky beat her one-on-one later on down the line. So do they do that again? Have Becky win the match, and then Charlotte beats her down the line?
Most likely.
Because they don't trust Becky?
One of the horsewomen going to start? I'm not really sure, but it's eventually going to be starting up very soon. I'm still pissed at last year's Mania crowd. They sucked so bad during that main event. Hey, Speeds, I know, I feel you, man. I was there. That main event and that crowd sucked the wind out of that arena. It wasn't the same.
What was the main event last year? I forgot.
Lesnar and Reigns. And that's when Lesnar beat Reigns.
Oh, I mean, come on.
But
that was shocking, though. That was a shocking ending.
That was a shocking ending. But the fans shitted on the match for so long that
because they thought
didn't
Reigns
have the same reaction that I should have had seeing Brock beat Roman. I should have had the same shock value. I know this is probably going to get shitted on in the chat because I'm comparing the two matches. But my reaction to Lesnar beating The Undertaker should have been kind of the same of Lesnar beating Reigns. Because nobody expected the Lesnar to beat Reigns. Everybody thought Reigns was going to beat Lesnar and move on, and that was going to be the end of Lesnar's reign. Same thing with Taker and Lesnar. Everybody thought Taker was going to win and move on with his undefeated streak, and Lesnar won. But the crowd shitted on that main event between Lesnar and Reigns so much that I actually kind of felt myself like saying, I'd rather not be here. I'd rather be watching it on TV because it just kind of sucked the fun out of the match. People
because all of us
the whole night.
Yeah, because all of us going into it assumed. We make asses of ourselves. And we assume, but we all assumed that Reigns was just going to win his 5th year in a row main eventing WrestleMania. He was just going to win the title, and then Brock was going to go do his own thing somewhere else. But no, it just shocked everybody, but it didn't because everyone's shitting on the match because they thought they knew the outcome.
They're going to be disappointed, and then they're going to blame it on Ronda, says Red Sox fan. Yeah, more than likely.
You know what? That's what I think is going to happen. Ronda's going to get booed like crazy at WrestleMania.
Ronda is going to get... Yeah. No one's going to get cheered other than Becky in that match. Absolutely. Ronda thought... They talked about, I don't know if this is true, but rumors and innuendo were saying that Ronda wasn't happy with the crowd on Monday and how they were acting towards her. Well, honey, you better be fucking ready, because if you thought that was bad, when you're in front of all those thousands of people at WrestleMania, they're going to be booing your ass. It's going to be a lot worse. So you just better be
because
ready.
crowds are smartening up now. They're starting to smarten up to Ronda. You're getting more smart crowds going into WrestleMania. You're not getting to those Ronda favorite crowds. You're starting to go into those hardcore wrestling crowds where they see what Ronda is in the ring. And she's not good.
Oh yeah, Speeds, I feel you on that, man. I'm sure it wasn't good for
She's terrible.
for your son to be there, and I can totally vouch for you on that. Now, it's gonna. Because last year the hype with Ronda, everybody was excited to see her in the ring, excited to see what she was going to do. She got those cheers. They didn't shit on her. This year they're going to be booing the fuck out of her. Absolutely. Especially when they're going up to with Becky Lynch. I mean, seriously, the man, no one's going to be booing her. Absolutely.
And someone says she's not selling tickets and she's not selling big out merchandise. Well, the live crowds there every week right now they're going crazy, and we're getting the better wrestling crowds going into WrestleMania, and they're going crazy for Becky Lynch. So people say Becky Lynch isn't selling out. People aren't going there to see her. Well, the closer and closer we get to WrestleMania, I keep seeing more of these man signs in the crowd.
Yeah, she may not be selling a lot of merch, apparently, but she's definitely over with the majority of wrestling fans.
Like the hardcore wrestling fans, at least, and there's the fickle fans that don't like her anymore.
I wouldn't say if it's fickle. I just think a lot of people are kind of fed up with her, as in they're tired of her act, and I can understand that because sometimes
she's getting pushed now.
She does get overboard a little bit, especially on Twitter and all that. I can understand that, but it's obvious she's over with a lot of the fans, and for them to not push her would be a travesty. And for her, it might be the best thing to add Charlotte to the match, because to me, I'm not really sure how good of a match Becky and Ronda would be. I'd
rather see Becky and Ronda than Charlotte added to another triple threat match she doesn't belong in.
Becky Lynch can't wrestle. I don't give a fuck about character, especially she's not drawing ratings. She's not moving the needle for ratings either. SmackDown Live numbers have flatlined.
And that's all because of Becky Lynch.
But is it from Becky Lynch? But other than that, could it be Daniel Bryan too?
I mean, it could be a garner of a lot of things. Could it be a bunch of things that WE just isn't what it used to be either. They don't have no big breakout star really doing anything right now. Brock Lesnar is about the only one, people are going to hate this, is about the only one moving the needle.
Oh,
to get people to tune in.
Definitely, yeah. If Brock Lesnar was going to be on SmackDown Live, everybody would tune in.
I don't see anyone blaming Seth Rollins for the ratings dropping on Raw.
It was Baron Corbin's fault, Dave. God damn it, remember? It was Baron Corbin's
fault. Or Finn Balor.
It was Baron Corbin's fault for the ratings and how bad Raw was the last half of the year. Remember?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with anyone else. Jeez. I mean, how can you blame... TV. People were just saying, TV ratings are down because everyone's streaming everything now. So that could have a big effect on decline in ratings too. And people aren't just tuning in anymore because what is there to watch? What, you want me to tune in to watch another match you're going to have end in a DQ or some stupid finish again? And we didn't even talk about this Tuesday. I don't know how we overlooked this. But the way the final segment went on SmackDown, where it was like you come back and it's like, oh, you stupid idiots are talking. I'm like, what? What'd they say? I mean, they had to put a clip on YouTube, so everyone got a clue what the hell was even being said out there before Mustafa Ali came down, because there was like a bunch of stuff that was missed during the commercial break.
Joe tore it up on that ending segment. People wanted to say she's the biggest star in ages, but if so, she'd be moving the needle. Yeah. That's true. I mean, that's a great point, because if she was as if she was as over as she is, because it seems like everybody loves her, right? About 95%, it seems like wrestling fans love Becky Lynch. But if they loved her so much, they would tune into SmackDown more to see her, especially when she starts the show. I mean, seriously. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Raw's ratings are Monday, because she's supposed to be on there with Stephanie McMahon.
But then they'll say it's because of Stephanie the ratings are up, not Becky Lynch.
That's true.
Oh, it's because of Seth Rollins.
That's true.
Oh, it's because of Triple H and Dean Ambrose. It's not because of Becky Lynch.
Stephanie would definitely be an excuse people could use to why the ratings were up. Is because she was in a one-on-one face-off with Steph. Sure, you could use that, but it's Becky Lynch is not the ratings needle mover yet. She's not moving the needle on the ratings side yet, but
let's
what
see about Ronda? Is she moving the needle on Raw? I mean, is she drawing big numbers each week she wrestles? Is Ronda and Natalia's tag match on Raw each week when they main event? Is that a number one watched segment? No, I think that was some of the lowest watched stuff they had. But yeah.
Okay. So let's move on from Becky Lynch and Steph because we're going to talk about it a shitload on Tuesday night, I'm sure. But there you go, Becky Lynch fan. She'll be on Raw. Apparently, she's being invited by Stephanie McMahon to be on Raw, and if I see her do a Stone Cold Stunner on Stephanie McMahon, I'm gonna go crazy. It's gonna be.
They gotta do something with it. They gotta do something.
They have to get. I really feel like Becky's gonna get physical with Steph. Something's gonna happen. If they're gonna push her or something's along the lines, something physical may happen this Monday night. That's all I'm saying about that.
They're trying to recreate it.
So SmackDown Live, everybody. I know how everybody thought the whole controversial finish with R-Truth and Shinsuke was a mistake. Well, apparently to everyone's favorite Dave Meltzer, that was the plan all along. Meltzer said, the questioning during Wrestling Observer Radio whether this poor refereeing was a dig at the NFL referees after officiating a call wasn't made for pass interference. So basically they did it on purpose, and it was more of like a shot to the NFL again. So WWE taking shots at the NFL during a title match, everybody.
I don't think it was, but whatever. I just think it was supposed to be, look what it and Shinsuke kicked out when he wasn't supposed to, I think. Because it did look like he kicked out. If you ask me, it looked like he kicked out of that. But
that's apparently according to to Meltzer, the Bible. Stephanie sees Becky getting over huge and says, "That's it. Put me on TV with her now," right?
Yeah, I know she wants to get.
That is so true. It is so funny because it's so fucking true. Sean Ross Sapp also said it was planned as well. Okay, so there you go. Other than Meltzer, there's other people saying that it was.
I believe it was planned too. I'm just saying the way it looked, like Nakamura kicked out.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm not sure how many bits are going to be called shots at the NFL because that's what that's everybody's first thinking. First you shit on the refs, and then Maroon 5 run.
And now they quit showing it.
That's funny. Some other news in wrestling: Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, Chucky T, are set to leave New Japan Pro Wrestling after the New Beginning USA tour shows. According to the Wrestling Observer, Beretta was reportedly offered a big deal which would see him stay with the company for the next 5 years, but he turned it down. Both Beretta and Taylor are expected to sign with AEW.
Best friends.
Yeah, best friends forever. Best friends. Jeremy Borash revealed on Twitter that the announcers for Sunday Night Heat will be Vic Joseph and the greatest of all time, Shawn Michaels. As previously reported, halftime Heat will take place in the Performance Center in Orlando as soon as the Super Bowl goes to halftime. It will feature a live match between Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, and Aleister Black taking on Gargano, Ciampa, and Adam Cole. The audience in the building will be made up of the wrestlers' friends and family. Wow, that's interesting. What do you think about that, Dave?
I mean, it is interesting, and I'm curious. I mean, like, how are they going to do this exactly? Because what if they better get the exact time that halftime is, to get this down to T. And what's the over-under of Adam Cole super kicking Shawn Michaels?
Hey, shut the fuck up about that, all right?
I'm just saying, if they could try to set up something with Shawn Michaels and Adam Cole.
He's not going to get near Shawn Michaels, all right, first off. But I do find this interesting.
Hey, payback, because I did see that show in San Antonio.
Hey,
like the highlight
Cole
where he
super kicked
Shawn Michaels.
First, all right? That's all I have to say
I'm just saying.
Why give AEW news and not touch on it? Well, what else do you want me to touch on with Beretta and Chucky T, Red Sox fan? They're going to go to AEW. We touched about AEW the first fucking 45 minutes on the show. Not really sure what else I can really comment about Beretta and Chucky T other than they're going to be adding to their tag division, which I'm glad they're adding more to their tag division, and should be interesting to see what they actually do, because I guess Beretta feels very confident in AEW, definitely declining a 5-year deal from New Japan. So all props to them, and I hope they do well. I just wanted to touch on this halftime heat because I thought this was interesting, because the last time they had this, they were in an empty arena. Yes, a couple of years back, Speeds, Adam Cole faced Drew McIntyre in a one-on-one match, and Shawn Michaels was a special referee. It was here in San Antonio, a live event. And Adam Cole accidentally super kicked Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels eventually super kicked him back later on in the match. It was a couple of years ago.
So what if
McIntyre was in that?
He's trying to super kick Ricochet, and Ricochet moves, and Shawn Michaels is standing there or sitting there.
Oh my God, that could happen, but I don't think they'd go that route, especially since Shawn Michaels.
It would create buzz during halftime. Adam Cole and Undisputed Era attack.
I hate myself now, says Bob Ruski. Hey, it's okay to be an HBK fan, all right? It's okay, you know. Not everybody can love the greatest of all time, you know.
On YouTube. Breaking news.
Yeah, it wasn't televised. Imagine, have HBK join Undisputed Era, man. Imagine the star power.
Era.
Imagine the star power. What's up, Michael Johnson? Welcome. Wow, HBK is so unprofessional. Hey, first off, he
booked himself first as commentary. Where's Mauro Ranallo at?
What do we think of Andrade? Man, we love Andrade, says Chris WWE up 12 in the Twitch chat room. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitch. We're over on the Twitch platform now as well, twitch.tv/getthetables, like it's spelled on Twitter. So we'd really appreciate you guys jumping on there. Not live on YouTube tonight, just live over here on Twitch and Periscope tonight. So thank you, everybody, for joining us on Periscope and on Twitch. Who would you rather have on your roster, Omega or AJ? Ooh, that's a good question. If I'm the WWE or if I'm AEW? If I'm WWE, I think I'd go Omega. What about you, Dave?
I don't know, because right now, you already know what you get with AJ, and you already know, nothing against Omega, but they already know what kind of guys they get with AJ. They don't really know a lot about Omega, so I think they would they might want a younger guy, but I think you could go either way, but I think Omega's younger, so I think you want to go kind of younger with, like, the future.
I agree. I agree with you. With fresh matches as well. I want to see HBK's reaction to Riddle. YouTube is live. I was on there earlier. Really? Am I live on YouTube? What the hell? Maybe I am live on YouTube, though. Thank you, Bliss, for letting me know. Maybe I did hit the live button on YouTube. I had no idea. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Shawn Michaels commentates this match. Are you looking forward to this live halftime show? Are you going to be watching it? Are you expecting an actual good match?
I let people know. I'm not watching Maroon fucking 5. I'm turning to the WWE Network and watching some wrestling during halftime, not this stupid music crap.
Hey, calm down now, all right? Relax over there, Dave.
I'm sorry, Mr. Maroon 5. Where's your shirt at? Mr. I Love Sam Levine. I think that's his name.
Adam Levine.
Whatever his name is. I don't know the guy's name.
Close enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tony. I apologize.
Dave. God damn it.
Yeah, you're in the number one of his fan club.
No, I'm just. I'm actually interested to see how they do it, especially with their friends and family.
Really?
In the audience. That's pretty cool.
I thought you were talking about Maroon 5. I'm actually excited to see how they do it.
Well, go night, Red Sox fan. I know it's past your bedtime. I know a lot of Red Sox fans don't stay up past midnight. So go night. NXT events where Mauro Ranallo is not commenting are fucking weighing. I can't disagree with you on that, but you know, hey, Shawn Michaels is a great replacement for Mauro, so I don't have any complaints.
Not really.
No, I'm not.
He would be a good replacement.
I was just playing.
He would be more of a replacement for like Nigel or something, because he's not going to do color.
Hey,
or whatever it is.
Shawn can give you some good insight on the commentating match. All right.
Yes,
Dave?
but not the lead guy.
No,
you know he's not the lead commentator. He's not a JR.
You need to relax. You watch when you go and watch this match. And Tuesday, you're going to be like, you know what, Tony, I was wrong. HBK is a great commentator, and I would love for him to join the booth and replace Percy Watson. I'm sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
I know
anybody would be better than Percy Watson.
No.
Oh, you could replace Percy Watson.
No, I'm just saying.
Prime time, Percy Watson is prime time annoying.
Yeah, I heard about Nia Jax injuring R-Truth. I'm not sure if I want to believe that or not. Apparently, she really injured him during that attack. I didn't really even read up on it because I don't even give a shit.
You see Curtis Axel's tweet?
No, I did not.
Like, hey, where's my title? He said, where's my title shot at? I didn't make it to the Rumble either.
Right.
I mean,
what's up, Architect? How you doing tonight? Welcome.
Welcome to your Super Bowl pre-show.
Of course, Red Sox fan has to take two shots at my teams, but you know what, Red Sox fan? Spurs won tonight, so suck a dick, all right? HBK on commentary makes Heenan sound like a brain-dead stroke victim. Jesus Christ. Wow. Hey, y'all need to relax on the, HBK is going to tear it up, all right? He's going to tear it up. I will take Larry Poffo over HBK on commentary. Wait, y'all are ridiculous. Y'all are
ridiculous. There's always the Spanish version. I think we can turn the SAP button on.
Wow.
We can always listen to what'd you say his name was? You always turn back and watch Levine, whatever his first name is.
You know what you called him Sam Levine. That was
whatever the fucking name is.
That was funny.
I don't listen to the group. He's a guy who sits in a chair on that one show.
I have no idea if Hogan's getting plastic surgery to make a comeback.
Might want to get back surgery then. Plastic surgery.
Y'all are funny tonight. So there you go. That's what's up, Architect? A dick like a Richard Hamilton who you lost in the final. This guy's trying to bring up old shit. Man, get out of here. All right? The Red Sox just basically started winning titles, and now you're on your little fucking high horse with the Red Sox. Get the fuck out of here. They're just like them, buying all talent.
That is pretty crazy, though.
Sam Levine
the World
versus
Series.
Elias.
You know what? The Boston Red Sox and the LA Dodgers in the World Series, and now the Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl. That is pretty crazy.
Yeah. PW Universe, please don't spoil anything. He just spoiled it.
What?
Don't look in the chat. If you're in the chat and if you're an NXT watcher, do not see what he just put in the chat. You don't have to mute him.
But mute him.
No,
you're going to spoil shit.
The comment will go away. Smart. Hey, smart by Bob Aruski. Very smart by Bob Aruski. That was a good.
Why are you going to spoil stuff in the chat?
Don't put spoilers, man. Yeah, don't put spoilers in the chat, man. That's don't do that. That's not
mute
cool.
them.
That's not cool. I had to go on a big old rant during the week because I was spoiled on the spoiler on NXT. That's not cool. A lot of people wait and watch the NXTs week by week. That's not cool, man. Don't spoil stuff in the chat, please. We'd really appreciate that. Yeah, I saw that too, Speeds. They did it on Speeds' too on Thursday night. They spoiled it in the chat room.
The same people?
Not the same person, but someone else brought it up and spoiled it in the chat. Like, why? I'm not gonna I'm not trying to dog you or anything like that, but why would you do that? A lot of people like I and Dave and others wait and watch the tapings week by week and wait to see what happens. And for you to do that and come in here and do that, it's not cool, man. Especially we don't even know when they're going to do that tapings. It could be a while from now. And I would like an organic reaction instead of someone spoiling it for me. It worked, Bob Ruski. It took the comment out of the chat, so props to you for doing that, man. I don't know. That was very smart of you doing that because it took the comment out of the chat. So hopefully not a lot of you guys saw that. Let's move on. Sorry about that, guys, if you saw that spoiler. Just kind of ignore it if you can. Is there anything else to talk about? I think we went through pretty much almost everything.
Why would you put anything like that in the chat anyway? Anything spoiler, period? I mean, what, just to ruin it for everyone else?
Yeah. I danced at the Marshmallow concert today. Yeah, in Fortnite. Oh, that was interesting. Will the comments show up on replay? I think it will. So if you're watching it on replay, everybody, or going to rewatch the show, because if you missed anything, Bob Arus, a Red Sox fan, you are an idiot. I have constantly every week gave props to the moderators every week because y'all do a fantastic job getting out of the porn bots and all whatever have you, the trolls. The moderators do a hard work. Yes, Speeds, I would definitely hire Bob Arusky as a moderator. He knocks those motherfuckers out. You guys do great work on being moderators. That's why I have you guys as moderators. Tony, did you go to the Rob show last week? What is that? I'm not, ROH? No, I did not. I think he means ROH Bliss. No, Bliss, I did not go to the ROH show.
I think he means Rob.
I just didn't. I didn't. Was busy on Saturday, so I wouldn't have been able to make it to the show anyways. I heard it was a pretty solid show though, for people who did go to it. For some reason,
so who is this who spoiled?
Comments. That's he spoiled.
Some guy named PW Universe was his name.
Yeah. But he was muted and unmuted, so the comment went away. So we'll give him a pass this time. You're
okay,
not muted,
I got
Architect.
something to say.
Hold on. What about Jay White, leader of the newest version of Bullet Club? Bullet Club goes on forever. Yeah, they're the NWO of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't mind Jay White. I like Jay White a lot. Don't really touch on him a lot on the show.
I know he was just on Jericho's podcast.
Yeah, he was on Jericho's podcast. I need to listen to that as well. I totally forgot he was on that podcast. I was listening to Eric Bischoff's podcast today, talking about Sold Out 2000. Oh my God, what a shit show that was! Oh my God, what a shit show Sold Out was.
You said the keyword 2000, so there's a good reason for that.
Oh, you went to the show, Bliss? How was it? Did I miss any revival rants tonight? No revival rants. Because there wasn't any revival news other than they fucking lost on Royal Rumble. We already went over that shit. Let's see, what else? Let's take on the shitty sport team WWE bites. What an asshole. Red Sox is upset. It was lit, said Bliss. Okay, you're going to talk about some of the SmackDown matches this week? Oh, that's right, DX. So we have Daniel Bryan. He'll be taking on Jeff Hardy. We have Mustafa Ali taking on Randy Orton. They announced that the Good Brothers will be taking on Nakamura and Rusev. I don't know if they announced anything else. I could be mistaken. But out of all those matches that they announced, which ones are you most excited to see?
I can't really remember ever seeing Jeff Hardy and Daniel Bryan, so that sounds interesting.
You're not interested in Mustafa Ali versus Randy Orton?
I'm sure it'll be good, but knowing Randy, he's probably going to do something crazy. So, yeah, I'm sure it'll be interesting. But he's probably going to end up with some crazy RKO. Like, he's going to do his inverted 450 he does, and Orton's going to RKO him or something.
Well, imagine. That would be fucking insane if he did that.
He'd probably kill him.
Bob Rusi, he said, was it anything 2000 or 2001 shit from the WCW? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Did you guys notice?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, did everyone notice that when Joe came out during that last segment, he started talking about Jeff Hardy's AA meeting, Randy Orton's reaction?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
And he's like busted up laughing like crazy.
The World Collide tournament happened this weekend. I didn't watch much of it. I do know Velveteen Dream won, and the winner of the tournament is able to challenge a champion of their choosing. I believe
that was really pulling for Keith Lee.
I know it's not on WWE, but it's only NXT UK, NXT, and 205 Live. Imagine if Keith Lee won.
I was pulling for Keith Lee. I really was.
That would have been crazy.
I was really pulling for Keith Lee. I really was. I think, come on, Keith Lee.
Shit, Keith Lee versus Pete
Dunne,
it's not like been a lovely match to see.
But no offense to the guys who were in this tournament, it's not like it was the creme de la creme.
I guess Velveteen Dream.
Imagine if they had all the top stars in this, you know?
Hey, Velveteen Dream's a top star, isn't he?
I get that, yes. I agree, yes. But imagine, like, the other guys. Yes, I guess they had Tyler Bate in it, too, but good for them. But And look at NXT, the guys that they didn't have in the tournament from it. Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roderick Strong. Imagine how, yes, they were all wrestling. I mean, they were tied up because they had other guys wrestling on TakeOver when this happened during that or whatever, that weekend. I get that.
I would have loved to see.
And I don't like how they did it.
I would rather have Keith Lee won and challenged Buddy Murphy. I think that would have been hilarious if they did.
But I don't like how they did this tournament. It's like they said, "Oh, we showed the tournament during the afternoon." It's like what?
They showed matches on the network though.
Yeah, that's what they were. Yeah, but they said they already showed. We're going to show you. Oh, since you want to see the whole tournament, you got to go look on our YouTube channel and watch it there. So here's the exclusive. Here's a round 1 matchup for you to watch. I was like, are you serious? You don't get to watch the whole thing?
Yeah, Adam Cole.
I was like, screw this.
I know there was a Velveteen Dream and.
Did they show all those matches? Oh no, they only showed like parts of them.
I'm not sure. I didn't watch it. Like I said, I didn't watch it before I came on. I wasn't home before when it was airing, so I wasn't able to watch it. So I'm not sure if they showed.
So what title is Velveteen going for then? Is he gonna go wrestle Pete Dunne?
I'm not gonna comment on that because I'm just not gonna comment on that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Okay, or I'll say this: is he gonna go challenge Buddy Murphy and get called up me on 205 Live?
Right, yeah. Let's see. Red Sox fan says, in other news, Will Ospreay girlfriend Bae Priestley declines WWE for AEW. That was pretty obvious.
Hey, speaking of 205 Live.
Go ahead.
Hideo Itami
that's right.
is
Hideo
gone.
Itami, the one guy we didn't mention tonight. We'll kind of end the show on this. Hideo Itami announced the night of our show. We were doing a show, kind of wrapping things up, and Bob Aruski comes in here and says, look at Fightful's Twitter account, and that's when we saw the big announcement. They announced that Hideo Itami was granted his release from the WWE. I'm not sure. I'm guessing he has a 90-day clause, and then he's able to wrestle. But yeah. Hideo Itami finally released from the WWE. Do you have any block from seniors? No. Architect, I can see what you're chatting. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. This happened with Jody as well. Jody wasn't able to see the chat room either. It's been Periscope's been acting up lately. I'm not sure what the deal is, but Jody Mania had this issue. Adam Bomb had this issue where they couldn't see the comments in the chat room. Not really. You might have to jump over on Twitch. But other than that, I'm not really sure what's up. AW signs Kylie Ray, who could be a Bayley type of character for AEW, just in case if chat needed any news. Says Red Sox. What a dick. Hideo Itami gone from the WWE. Your thoughts on that? I know we kind of covered a little bit on it on Tuesday night show when the news broke, but I don't think this is a huge loss for WWE, even though this was one of their big signings during that year where they were going out and signing all these huge people, because even Hulk Hogan himself went to Japan and announced the signing of Hideo Itami. So they had huge things for him. It just never panned out, injuries and stuff like that. But he was one of the top guys apparently that was going to be pushed, but injuries set him back, and not sure why they kept pulling him back for doing anything else. But he didn't really have a successful run in the WWE. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it was a failure. I mean, it was exciting when he came in, and then it was just like a big failure. And I'm happy that he's gone. He either go back to Noah or he can go show up at AEW. Now people, of course, under his little tweet when he said thank you, there was a lot of those. Oh yeah, Cody Rhodes.
It's gonna be everywhere, man. It's gonna be everywhere.
It was. But one thing I loved when I looked down that thing, that list he did, there was a lot of wrestlers currently on the roster who were just pointing like, thank you and I respect you and all that. So that was really cool to see the line of wrestlers that truly do respect Hideo Itami, or Kenta, as you want to call him. But yeah, it's too bad they never did anything with him, because I would have loved to seen at least give him some kind of shot on a SmackDown or a Raw or something, because there's so many potential matches they could have done with him.
Sox fan. Yes, Sammy, it's Guevara, right? Am I saying that correctly? Guevara?
Or
he signed with AEW as well. And then PJ Black, he signed with ROH. Yeah.
Justin Gabriel.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Red Sox fan being an asshole, saying also PJ Black signs with ROH. He's just Justin Gabriel to you WWE fucking marks, man. Red Sox fan he's such a lovely guy, isn't he? Everybody. I mean,
Hey, I'm glad he's all right though.
Everyone's face.
Because that dude just seriously got injured like really bad not that long ago. Because he truly Gabriel? Is like a daredevil. Yeah.
PJ Black now, yes. He didn't he lose a finger or a hand?
Yeah,
I thought he lost a finger.
He fell. He like fell off something. He really is like what he says. He's like a daredevil. He does this crazy stuff.
David Finlay debuted on ROH Weekly Show and lost. Didn't make sense to me.
And didn't they like create a faction with Juice? Like some kind of weird faction on ROH that popped up on there?
I think so. I'm sure Bob Ruski, a Red Sox fan, can tune us in. Red Sox fan is my spirit animal, says Adam Awesome. Yeah, it's funny because Red Sox fan is an asshole to about 90% of people in this chat room, but everybody seems to like him. I know some people don't, but everybody, like when he wasn't, like he went on his little hiatus for a little bit, a lot of people asked, "Where's Red Sox fan? Where's Red Sox fan?" It's funny, even though he's an asshole to me. I guess people like him being an asshole to me. I guess that's the thing. I'm looking up to who else people. He's the Tanner version of Jeff Hardy doing crazy shit. Guevara is a cool guy. Came on our show a while back. Check out on his YouTube channel. It's great. I saw him wrestle. Where did I see him? On Impact. And I know he's from Wrestle Circus.
He also wrestled Circus. Yeah.
So yeah,
that's kind of defunct now, which is weird. Because how much wrestling is on Twitch now? They kind of started it because they started showing wrestling on Twitch.
They started it for sure.
And now they like disappeared.
Yeah, it's weird that I know they were trying to find a new venue and stuff like that, but they were the talk of the town for a while.
Free wrestling on Twitch. I mean, they had
and having like the top
independent didn't they have
wrestlers
Cage
over there. Yeah, they had Cage
isn't that
over
where
there.
Cage and Tessa Blanchard, that one-on-one match on that channel?
Yeah. They had a lot of the huge independent guys on there, but they just kind of fell off. I'm not sure what happened to them, honestly.
It's crazy. Now everyone's on Twitch now. Like there's like 3 different wrestling promotions on Twitch at the moment. It's just crazy.
And guys, Tony tells me to stop trolling. Hey, I agree. Yeah, Red Sox fan, your trolling can get a little bit over the top sometimes. That's why I like it when you actually have wrestling conversations with us, because when you do it, you have some good insight. But when you troll, you're the #1 motherfucking troller. And guys, do you believe today's wrestling gimmicks are too generic? Yes. He had a PWG title match against Walter. Oh my God, I can only imagine how that match was. Came on our show and said fuck Walter and his chops, and then Walter fucked him up. I only saw Impact and Smash Wrestling. I saw 2 matches. That was it.
I didn't see any of it.
It was they had Johnny Impact taking on fucking Sami Callihan, and then they had OVE taking on the Rascals. It's the only matches that I was able to catch. So how was that event? I know Bob Ruski was tweeting.
I have no clue.
How was that event?
I was watching. I was watching the W Network.
Jeffrey Cross, Texas Kid is the worst by far because he lives in his own fucking world, man. I don't even want to comment on him because I'll get mean. Now, what did you think of Impact on Friday? Since we're gonna kind of wrap up the show now, I know we didn't really.
I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah, it was not that great of a show on Friday.
I did watch that UK with everyone kept talking about that gift that was going around of Walter slapping that dude or that little video online. Dude. I mean, and then that little he kind of we kept hearing Alex talk about he wanted to see Fabian Archer and his partner. I can't think of his name now, but
Marcel,
kind of team back.
Right?
Yeah,
Marcel. I can't think.
Bartel or whatever.
I can't think.
I don't know. But they kept saying how they were a team before, and he kind of just like shunned them or kind of dismissed them when they're backstage. Because next week it's going to be Walter versus one of the Coffee Brothers, which
if someone
be a fun
offered you $1,000, Dave, would you take a Walter chop?
No.
Not for $1,000?
No, would you?
What's up, Mr. Mad Dog?
$1,000
tonight?
Did you see that guy's chest after one chop?
For $1,000, I might debate about it.
I mean, I thought it was bad what freaking Roderick Strong did to Daniel Bryan in the Greatest Rumble because he really messed his chest up.
Man. Okay, here we go. Here's a question for
you.
Who would you rather take a shot from, the Big Show or Walter?
Oh damn. I don't know. It seems like the Big Show's. I've never seen the Big Show leave a red mark like that on anybody, so they're the Big Show.
Man.
It seems like Walter just like
Bliss said no medical bill is going to be over $1,000.
I know, right?
Oh man, dude, his slaps are so brutal, man. Like I couldn't imagine.
I hope that guy got more than $1,000. Shit, we told him paying us $1,000. I hope he got more than $1,000 for that match.
I couldn't imagine going into a match knowing that Walter's going to give you a good couple of slaps in the chest.
I mean, that guy only got one slap, and that's what happened to his chest. One.
You can see the beautiful outline of Walter's hand on his chest. That's just insane. Impact was not very good this week. Not very good. Not very good.
Other than Lucha Brothers versus who they faced? I forgot already.
Lucha Brothers took on the Rascals. That was a good match.
Are you sure it was no? They didn't. Eddie Edwards and them took on the Rascals.
No, you're right. Who did the Lucha Brothers face? I don't.
Oh, it was a 6-man tag.
Oh,
it was against LAX 6-man tag.
Right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. The Drake and Eddie Edwards, a weird tag team combo, but they seem to work very well together. Took on the Rascals. That's right.
After Drake used the kendo stick.
Right.
Yeah, that helped out really well.
Right. But yeah, it was not that great of an impact, other than us having that co-streaming going on in the chat.
And the next couple weeks will be good though. So for Impact, because next week tag title match, and then you got your pay-per-view on Twitch.
Bobaruski says, "Go watch PCO versus Walter." All right. Wow was awesome this week, said Top Shelf. You saw Wall this week. Oh, Wall. Wow.
Oh, I didn't.
I thought you said you watched it.
I watched the first episode. That's about it.
Oh, okay. You're going to talk about some NXT matches from this past week. Yeah, we didn't touch too much on NXT this Thursday.
Nothing happened on NXT.
What are you talking about? We saw the Street Profits get fucking robbed of a match. That's what we saw. The Street Profits. I don't know, y'all can hate on these motherfuckers all you want, but these guys are insane. All right.
Dude, he should not have spit on Jackson. What the hell his name is? Gunner? What? I don't know his name is. Jackson Riker, I think. He spit on him, so that's why he knocked him out.
That shows you how big of a threat the Street Profits are when you have to get involved and cheat. What Montez Ford did, running and doing that front flip outside of the ring, was insane. You cannot.
Hey, you know what Jackson did? No flips, just fist. Boom.
I don't give a fuck about that. Y'all, Street Profits are so athletic, and y'all hate on them so much. It's probably because they have the crime time resemblance. That's the only reason why you guys hate on the Street Profits. And I'm gonna laugh at all your faces when I'm gonna be repping some Street Profit gear just very soon. I bought me some Street Profit gear, and I'm gonna be repping it on the show very, very soon.
Tony, let's be real. One of them is athletic.
Okay.
I didn't see Dawkins doing a flip over
Dawkins
the. I want to see Dawkins do that.
Wrestling ring, my friend.
Yeah, he can do a run and get like 1 inch off the ground when he spins around in this little clothesline in the corner, the Stinger Splash thing or whatever. That's about all he can do.
He's still here.
He really gets a foot off the ground, but yeah. But hey, you know what? Mr. Belair is very talented.
Wow, Mr. Belair, wow.
I mean, he can do some. Even Ricochet was impressed with that flip he did. I was like, dang. I mean, it was nice. It was fun to watch. I mean, he's a fun little entertainer, but he's not a wrestler. Those, who's the other guy? Wesley Blake and his partner. I forgot who he is.
I don't care about them. Damn, Forgotten Sons. Exactly. Their name is basically what they're going to be next month. Forgotten.
Who is the other guy?
They ain't going to do shit on NXT. Street Profits, man, put them on fucking WWE main roster already. They'll be putting on some.
They'll put them on Raw.
Hey,
Yeah, put it on
Bliss,
Raw.
you need to settle down over there with that comment, all right? Ford needs to drop Hawk Dawkins already. You need to calm down, all right?
Yeah,
All
I
right?
think Alex said it right though.
No. They need to
Belair is gonna
win.
go up to the main roster, Mr. Belair, and then Dawkins is gonna create another Street Profits with someone else.
No. He's gonna add Keith Lee, right? No, that's not gonna happen. They'll need to settle down with them needing to separate and all this bullshit. Just give them a goddamn chance for the love of God. Can I just ask that? Now, Dave in New Jersey keeps asking about the 2 horsewomen jobbing. I don't know if would you consider losing to Io Shirai and Kairi Sane a job?
It wasn't really jobbing. I mean, you know what? I did want to talk about this. Thank you for bringing this up. You know what I like about these 2 girls, though? They're not being pushed up to the moon like, oh, we're Ronda's best friend, so we get to be champions right away, and we're number 1. No. They're actually earning their spot and earning their stripes by starting out the bottom by losing some matches. And they didn't job. I mean, do they deserve to be these 2 world-class athletes? No, they don't. Ronda doesn't deserve to be world champion, but at least they're doing it like the right way, in my opinion. It was how I was taught watching wrestling. You know, like, okay, guys, you got to earn your way to build up to be a top star. You got to earn it and lose and win and then get your wins. To me, they're doing it the right way, and I thought the match wasn't that bad. I thought it was actually a pretty decent match. And they're really, really green, so them going in there with good wrestlers like this, I think it works, and they kind of like stooges. That's what they are. They're Shayna's stooges. I mean, right now, the WE version of the horsewomen, they should destroy those 4.
Yeah, they should really, honestly.
Because look, compared to what Shirai and Jessamine Dukes is looking like, or Schaefer Shirai. Sorry, Shirai is someone else. Shirai's the other girl, sorry, but Schaefer. I think it's Rhea Schaefer, yeah. And Rhea Schaefer, I mean, they don't look like they even belong in the ring, really, but they're out there paying their dues and kind of like working their way up, losing and learning how to lose. And they did some good stuff out there. I thought they looked good out there, but not ready to be the top stars.
They're not you think they're not a threat to the original?
No, they're not. I mean, the other 2 are good. They're like lackeys. That's what they are. They're kind of like lackeys. They're not that good. They're decent in the ring, and they're good to help Shayna win a match, and like they take bumps and get beat up. That's basically what they do.
Sign me up for that, BJ. Maybe we can get a Street Profits versus the Revival match, and only Tony and Speeds can be the only ones there. Sign me up. Sign me up, my friend.
Did you see the match, and what do you think about it?
They're okay. They do need some more time in the ring, of course. You know, they are going against Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, one of the best women wrestlers in NXT. So it's hard to kind of compare them to them. They're not going to look as great as Kairi and Io Shirai. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, they're still green. They're not necessarily probably ready for the main roster push when they get this rivalry going with the 4 horsewomen, but just give it some time. I'm sure eventually they'll
If you want to do it, they have to be like lackeys like they're doing for Shayna right now. If you want to bring them up and do this horsewomen thing, which you shouldn't, because they're not ready at all, but if you're going to turn Ronda heel, bring them up with her, and those 2 can be like J&J security for Rollins. You know, where they just get beat up the whole time. And they help her keep the title. That's basically what it would be. And that's basically what they are. They're J&J security for Shayna right now, helping to keep her title.
I told you, Red Sox fan, they're going to have Io Shirai and Kairi Sane be part of the women's tag division. I just have a feeling that's what they're going to do.
No.
They're going to have
I don't like that idea.
Move up to their main roster, but as a tag team. I just have this.
I hope not.
I just have a feeling, man. I think
Shirai deserves to be champion, at least in the NXT.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of fans would rather them not do that, but I just have a feeling that they're going to have them move up as a valid women's tag team to put in the women's division.
That's why you got Sasha and Bayley.
I just have this feeling, man, and we'll see what happens. They're going to make it to where, there's not a lot of women tag teams in the WWE.
Yeah, there are.
Unless they put them together. Name me 5 right now that are not Sasha and Bayley and the Riot Squad.
Okay, you got Sonya and Mandy. You got the Iconics. You got Tamina and Nia Jax. You have... Who else do we have right now? Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. and you have. I'm sure I can throw another one in there. Oh yeah, you have Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox.
No, those aren't fucking.
Hey, they're a tag team.
No. After Monday night, they'll be gone. They won't be a tag team no more. Bella Twins, yeah, you could use them, but
okay, yeah. But I'm saying there is a lot of tag teams that are considered teams. Like you have the Iconic.
Slim. It's very fucking slim.
Yeah, but for both rosters, you do have a lot of teams.
A quality opponent, though, a quality tag team.
You don't think the Iconics could put on a good tag match with them, or even Mandy and Sonya? But those are considered.
Yes, Mandy and Sonya, yes. Dana and Natalya. Oh my god, y'all need to stop because these are not legit tag teams. They were just fucking put together. You know, other than Sasha, Bayley, and the Riot Squad, those are legit women tag teams. And then Sonya and Mandy. That's it.
No, Sonya and Mandy. No. Sonya and Mandy don't count as a tag team. Just because one likes to get tag team doesn't mean it counts as a good tag team.
Whoa, Dave. Whoa.
I'm sorry, I was hacked.
Yeah, Dave was just hacked. That was not Dave who said that, all right?
That was hacked.
Kairi Sane and Io Shirai will definitely be on the main roster as a tag team. And Speed said they're going to be nicknamed as the Shorties. And that was funny.
The Pirate Princess
screws them on spot. Yep. I absolutely.
I bet he does.
Hey, relax over there. WWE only push tag teams that are just put together. That is true, Bob Ruski. That's another.
Yeah, look at the B team.
They called them the
B
Sky
team,
Pirates.
B team. Oh, go.
Yeah, that's what Dave said, Speeds. Yeah. Yeah, Jody, I don't know what's wrong with excuse me, with Periscope tonight. Some people are not able to see the other comments. Excuse me, in the chat room. So, oh man, what an entertaining night tonight. Naomi and Auska. That's not true. The whole four horsewomen thing is going to be so lame when it finally happens. The modern day jumping bomb angles. Yeah. Oh,
I mean, those girls are not worth. Hey, then if you're gonna throw up, you're gonna say Shirai and Zayn, then why not Maria Schaefer and Jessamine Dukes? Why not bring them up to win the tag titles? Imagine that if they were added. Yeah,
it could happen, Dave. I'm just saying that it's just funny that all of a sudden Io Shirai and Kairi Sane are starting to team up so much, especially after this huge announcement.
Just recently, though, because they were teaming up kind of before,
too. There you go. They're fucking the modern-day NXT version of Sasha and Bayley.
But should they allow the tag titles to go to NXT, too, where you can, like, go there?
They're going to move them on up.
I don't think you want to.
I think Sasha and Bayley are going to run through the tag division, and then they're going to get brought up. I'm just telling you. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Well, no matter what, it's going to help the division, both because it's going to be for both shows, correct? So it's going to have 2 extra women appearing on both shows, so that's going to be nice.
It's going to be interesting. All right, so we've
been Did they do away with the actual tag titles then? And just make it 1 tag titles for both shows?
What? We're talking about the women's? It is 1 women's tag team.
And men's.
Oh, yeah.
What about the men's? Why not do it that way?
With the men's, especially since the men's.
But then wouldn't you shorten up the men's tag division a little bit too, where you're only booking 1 team for both shows? Well, it kind of hurt it too.
It's Kushida, right? I'm saying his name right, correct? Kushida, that just signed with the WWE, that Japanese star. Because WWE. Red Sox fans said the way WWE is using Io Shirai and Sane is going to make other Japanese women not want to go there. Yeah, that's a good point. Rest in peace, brand split, says Bliss. That's why they gave Miz and Shane titles to kill it. Oh my god!
I mean,
I don't even want to talk about that.
Can't get much worse than that.
And then they have fucking the Miz's dad on Twitter give us the fucking network pick of the week. Like what?
What could that be?
Them winning the tag team titles. Like, get the fuck out of here, Miz. Miz's dad. We don't give a shit what you have to say. Like, get the fuck out of here. Oh,
it's Mr. Miz, Tony.
Right, Mr. Miz. That's right. All right, everybody. I think we're going to start wrapping it up. We've been live for over 2 hours now. Great conversation tonight. Some very funny comments in the chat. Interaction was great. Thank you for everybody who came over onto Twitter as well. Got quite a bit of viewers as well. If you're not on Twitch with us yet, and if you don't maybe use it as well as much as you are on Periscope, we would really appreciate you guys just jumping over there and just following us. Don't forget, we do go live on Friday nights with the co-streaming of Impact Wrestling. We'll be live this Friday, co-streaming Impact, and we got the Lucha Bros taking on LAX in a rematch for the tag team titles. What's up, Jody Maney? I'm sorry that chat's messing up with you on Periscope. Not really sure what's up with that. Let's do a quick little shout-out on Periscope. JT England, Go Home Wrestling Show, Ella Chica, War Eagle, and Jody Mania. Those are some of the people that commented on Twitch tonight, so we appreciate you guys. Thank you for everybody who popped in and out on Twitch as well. I hope you will consider giving us a follow. And then let's do a quick shout-out to everybody in the chat room. Speeds in the Benchmark, thank you for the Super Hearts. Don't forget, they're live every Monday and Thursdays. Big supporters of the show, and we also support them over there and what they do. David even called in one night, so give them a follow. They're great people over there. They work hard. And we would really appreciate you guys checking them out sometime as well. We got the Reverend in the house. Give him a follow as well. I think he goes, live every Friday mornings and gives you kind of some inspiration and stuff like that. So he's another great person to follow. Kevin, Alice, Bliss, Red Sox fan, Jeffrey Cross, Dave from New Jersey, Adam Awesome, Bob Aruski, Peckinrod. We got Scorpion in here, Chris, D. Hess, Innocent. If I miss you, I apologize because I can't see who else is in the chat room. So just say hello so I can give you all the proper hello and shout out. Alice is in here as well. Some great people, everybody. So if you haven't already, follow everybody in this chat. They're all great people. Thank you, Speeds, for the shout out of the Patreon and everything. Thank you. Go support the show by pitching. Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. All you guys are awesome. The internet interaction was really great. Thank you for bringing up subjects we weren't going to touch on because I forgot NXT, the NXT UK, all that good stuff. So appreciate all that. DX is always on that, so appreciate him. Super Bowl picks. Oh, okay, here we go. This is good. What's up, Manny? Oh, Michael Johnson. How did I miss you, my friend? Always a great supporter of the show as well. All right, Super Bowl picks, everybody in the chat room as well. Dave, who do you got tomorrow night? Let's get a prediction and a final score. Who you got tomorrow? And well, first off, are you looking forward to the game?
No.
BJ, our man from the Down Under,
are you?
Cafe Bonicelli. I'm looking forward to the game. Yes, I am.
Are you looking forward to the game? If you're not from this market or you're fans of these two teams, then that's fine. I get that. But if you're outside of that, or you're not from the state and you're not big fans of those teams, then are you looking forward to the Super Bowl, the game, or are you more looking forward to the event that is the Super Bowl? You know, like, it's the event of the Super Bowl where you're just looking forward to hanging out, watching some funny commercials.
Well, I know a lot of people, they're not like my wife. She's not a big football person. She, a lot of people like her watch because of the commercials and because of the halftime show, stuff like that. So, no, she's not too, excited for the Super Bowl, but she's looking forward to the halftime show and the commercials like that. JT says 69-0 Patriots. Oh my God.
A lot of people who aren't in the market. That's all I was saying. Is in the market, aren't they just excited for more? It's the Super Bowl, it's the event. It's more about the event, the Super Bowl itself, than it is actually about the game. It seems like building up. If you watch any of the media stuff going into it, you can see a lot of old players. So yeah, I don't really care too much. I guess if I had to pick a team, I'd probably say the Patriots win again. Because, really, we can hate Tom Brady all we want and hate the Patriots for cheating or whatever they do, if you want to say it or whatever. But, what they have done is crazy. What is this going to be, Tom Brady's, 9th Super Bowl? That's unheard of. Yeah. That's unheard of to be what kind of run they're on right now. And this could be the last time, and a lot of people are still upset about the Saints game. So
I'll be rewatching Takeover instead of watching the Super Bowl. Hey, I can't.
But I'm actually more looking forward to. Now, Tony, since you're going to be at some big party for the Super Bowl, are you going to still be able to watch? Or what are your parents' house?
Going to the parents' house is not a big party. We're we're not staying for the whole game, or I think we're gonna just go over there for a little while and hang out. I can watch it on my phone. I plan on watching the show on my phone if it comes down to that.
Now, is the wife going to let you do that?
National holiday. I absolutely agree with that. Oh, she'll be fine with that. Nope, there's no issues with me watching the wrestling.
You're like, hey, I'm turning Maroon 5 off.
Maroon 5. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put on the WWE Network real quick now. I'll just put it on my phone and put some headphones on if it has to come to that. But
hey, you don't want to watch Maroon 5 and Sam Lewis, or where the hell his name is. Sam George,
remember?
Whatever.
A lot of people are picking the Patriots. I'm more excited about the Puppy Bowl, says Bliss. Speed says
hey, what happened to the lingerie bowl? Is that still a thing? The lingerie league?
Rams fuck the Saints, so I might actually have to root for the Pats. Yeah, I know a lot of people are dogging the Rams because of the way they went in. But all right, Dave, who you got winning, and what's a prediction?
The Patriots, 45-14. There you go.
Wow. So you have them not even being a good game. All right, so
golf is gonna be golfing soon.
All right, Patriots. They're that team that always seems to be there at the end, no matter what kind of start they have. They always seem to be there at the end in the big games, as the Super Bowl, or they're the underdogs but end up somehow winning. A lot of people, to be honest with you, they shouldn't have beaten the Chiefs. They threw that pick. They did all. Tom Brady didn't have the greatest game in the world, but somehow they pull it off. The other team makes mental mistakes, or
I don't know. No, I disagree.
Them up. What's that?
I disagree. Of this Chiefs game, the Chiefs came out and they were down 14-0.
Well,
that's a halftime or whatever it was. Or close to it.
They did intercept the ball late in the game, where all they had to do was run the clock out, but one of the Chiefs players were offside, so
that play did mess. No, but if they wouldn't have came out
right there.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's probably what cost them the whole game. That guy offsides, I agree. But if they would not have came out and being down 14-0, and start the game, I mean, that was kind of stupid on their part as well, too, in my opinion. I think the Chiefs were a fun team to watch, but when you do something like that, it's just like, what? I mean, you just don't come out and be ready to play.
I expect
the Saints, and to go on I know we don't talk a lot of sports on this channel, but I know a lot of Saints. I guess the Saints are going to be replaying the Super Bowl or down there in New Orleans that they won, so they're not even going to show the Super Bowl. So, but you know what? They did have a chance to still win that game. Yeah. Whether the play was missed or not, yes, it was missed.
Yeah,
they could have still won the game.
As well, yeah.
Good for him. But they could have still won that game. Whether everyone's all uproar about it, they still could have won the game. They had chances in overtime.
But they still could have just kind of wrapped it up after.
Yeah, but they still could have won the game. They had another 0-0 in overtime. They had a chance to win the game in overtime.
See, Red Sox fan, you're making me want to pull against the Patriots the way you're being such an asshole in the chat room. But I'm pulling for the Patriots. I'm not a big Rams guy. Never have been. Even when they were with St. Louis, never was a big Rams fan. Always kind of seemed.
And then people complained that did it go to overtime with the Patriots game too, or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, they went. It's
been. And then people were complaining that Pete Holmes didn't get it, or Pete Holmes. What am I thinking? Wrong guy. Sorry. Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. Sorry. Didn't get a chance to go in overtime. Well, you know what? The Chiefs didn't stop the Patriots either.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to answer the question, Red Sox fan. Rams lose, Patriots win. I'm going to say it's going to be a 30. I want to say high scoring, but I'm going to say 24-13. Patriots win. I think it'll be more of a shutout part, and then the Patriots end up kind of taking over at the end. I don't see the.
I think it'll be more of a shutout. I think it'll be like a shutout.
So Pats 38-31. Okay, all right. I see.
Tony, let's be real. How much do you love the LA teams?
I hate the fucking LA teams. So let's just not talk about them anymore. So yes, the East, only NFC East teams can beat the Pats. Yeah, that's true. Eagles and the Giants have the Pats numbers somehow.
Lions.
let's not talk about the Bucks or the Lions, Dave.
Hey, Lions did beat the Patriots, so where's our parade?
Pats won by 2 possessions, says Red Sox fan. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for the unbelievable support tonight. Over 2,600 viewers tonight. So amazing. And then plus with the people popping in on Twitch, really do appreciate that. Y'all guys are great. I stopped actually caring for Super Bowl when Broncos played the abomination of a game. Oh, yeah. We don't want to touch about that game because I remember that was supposed to be a huge game, and they ended up shitting the bed. The Patriots can't win. We'll never hear the end of it from Dr. Hughes. Yeah, I'm sure he won't be too happy there either. So, all right, everybody, we'll be live again on Tuesday. By Tuesday night, we'll see what happens with Stephanie and Becky Lynch. We'll see what happens on SmackDown Live. If anything huge comes out from there, we'll definitely touch on it on Tuesday night. Dave, anything else you would like to say before we end tonight's show and move on to Tuesday night?
Everyone enjoy the Super Bowl. Stay safe out there, and enjoy Raw and SmackDown if it's possible.
Yes, be safe out there. If you are going to any Super Bowl parties and plan on drinking and having a good time, please, have someone drive you home if you're going to get totally smashed or anything like that. Don't risk your life, everybody. Let's have a great Super Bowl time tomorrow because we want to see all your lovely faces on Tuesday night. So thank you, everyone, for dropping in again. Like I said, thank you for the Super Hearts from Spees, Robert, Jody, Sock Monkey Mike, and Mike Kenobi. Thanks for those Super Hearts. Really do appreciate that. Don't forget, everybody, I forgot to mention them on the show, and I'm sorry I've taken a lot more time to end it. We do have wrong scene. There you go. We have shirts coming out next month.
There you go.
Get the Tables podcast will be coming out with shirts. I have gotten a couple of requests for some shirts, so if you are interested, we'd really do appreciate you guys just hitting us up and letting us know so I can reserve you a size. We got small, medium, large, extra large, and double X. So we would really appreciate you guys maybe purchasing one if you can. They're only $15. That's including shipping and handling and all that good stuff. So if you're interested in possibly purchasing one, let us know. We will be doing a giveaway. I was thinking about doing a kind of like a loot package where you'll get a shirt and a couple of other knickknacks as well. So I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, but we'll be doing another giveaway here shortly. So if you do, we'd really appreciate that. That shirt is too WWE-ish and too expensive, says Red. Man, you are trolling tonight, my friend. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Awesome show, awesome interaction, some great comments, some great funny comments as well. You guys have a great Sunday and great rest of your Saturday, and hopefully your work week or your week in itself is a great one because we want to see you on Tuesday night. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support. And we'll end you with some more Pentagon music to end you guys' night tonight. Thank you so much for the support. You guys rock. And we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Love you guys.